Yo, what's up, man? It's the Squeegee Live podcast. Again, we're doing it again.
Give it to me harder, big boy.
You know what I mean?
Why, yes. Yes, I will.
We're doing this, and we're here with Jersey. It's been like 9,000 years since you've been on the podcast the last time, hasn't it?
It's been
a long time.
I'm trying to remember when it was.
Dude, it's been a long time.
2 years?
The Jers was going on dates and stuff on Wednesdays, and then
Screwed it up.
And then now he's like, I'm not taking my wife out at all anymore. I want to hang out.
No,
with you guys.
I finally got divorced and kicked him out of the house.
Right?
Like, listen, Wednesdays.
Shit, finally.
Wednesdays are the night.
Is that
They still
true?
doing your podcast, Jersey? I don't get notifications.
Yeah, still doing my podcast.
Yeah, he still does.
Because you don't have the notifications.
You don't get
turned on.
notifications because you turned them off?
I don't know.
Turn them on.
I don't even know if I ever turned them on. I just stumble upon them.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I don't get notifications, Jersey.
Yeah.
I'll have to fix that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's like almost 8 years for that podcast, by the way. Every single week.
shit.
I haven't missed 1 week.
Yeah.
8 years.
Pretty. Yeah.
Wow.
Been a long time, man.
I've missed
Hi,
several
Mom.
weeks.
Hey, Mom, do
Hey,
I look
Mary.
skinnier than the last time you saw me, Mom? Because I feel skinnier.
How much weight you down now?
I started at 289, and I weighed myself today at 263.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, and I ain't even really been trying. I just been eating properly with no sugar. Just been drinking water, and now I'm gonna start walking every day. I'm gonna do 1.5 miles around the neighborhood every day. That's my goal, is a 1 walk per day for the whole month of May. And then after that, after I feel like I've gotten to a point where I can exercise and not have a heart attack, I'm going to start going to the gym. Or I'm not going to the gym. Me and my cousin Brandon are moving weights into the old batch plant behind Universal Equipment. It's going to be like Rocky in there, dude.
Yeah.
It's gonna be sweet, dude.
Is there a
Sweaty
freezer
and
in there?
gay.
For the,
Yeah, well, that's exactly what we're
calorie
going for,
puncher?
is sweaty and gay, I'll have you know.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Duh.
Is the reason
Yeah.
just so you can take your shirt off like Jello, though? I mean, is that like the real reason?
Dude.
Yes, actually.
So-
I mean, yeah.
Makes
That's the whole reason why I'm doing this.
So
Hell yeah.
we did break him. We absolutely broke him Sunday. And nobody's seen the episode
Yeah.
because it's behind the paywall.
Yeah.
But
Well, he's been blowing me
we-
up about it. He's been like, "Where's the link?" And I'm like, "You got to pay $2." He's like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Because, dude, you have to pay $2 to see the Jello episode, dude.
I want my
I mean-
$2.
I want my
That's a
$2."
car
Sue
payment for him, though.
you
You
if
can't,
you don't give me
you
some
can't
of the
expect
money.
to come up with $2.
Yeah. Well,
Dude,
listen.
it was eye-opening. To
There
say
you
the
go.
least.
How about I pay him $50 to go the fuck away?
I'm gonna tell you this
Why?
right now. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I mean, first of all, he is definitely a goofball, definitely on the spectrum, but I think we all might be getting played in a sense.
1,000%.
Absolutely.
Listen, we
Didn't I
have
tell
a
you
lot
this
of
from the
trolls.
get-go?
What's that?
Didn't I say this from the get-go?
Yeah. Well,
We
I
have a
wasn't
lot of
sure.
trolls, like hardcore trolls, and some of them you can tell you're like, oh, we can't. This guy, stop making fun of him, you know. And then there's other ones you're like, oh, I see what this guy's doing.
Yeah.
Like he'll call him like,
Well-
hey, not Jello, but this is, you remember Cullen Gold, whatever
Yeah.
his name
Yes.
was.
Yeah.
Most normal guy ever. You call him, he's like, hey man, hey, just looking to place an order, get some, and you're like, who is this again? You're like,
Yeah.
oh, Cullen, I'm on,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, you're just
Damien,
watching the world burn.
Damien is our one channel member, and he watches every episode. Damien's fucking our only channel member, and he says that he didn't sound as dumb. He did. I was actually surprised. You know, the dude's he's got 2 kids. He's got another one on the way. You know what I mean? Like he's got kids. He's got family. Like I said, I think everyone is getting like Eddie Stewart level trolled, and I don't think people will realize that. If once they watch that, once people see that episode, they're gonna be like, "Oh, this fucking guy." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it
they
might
understand.
it might take some of the mystique off of him if everybody gets to see that. I'm gonna be honest
Yeah.
with you.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's best. Yeah.
So
He's-
he's
he's-
so He's a good fucking troll.
He's an amazing one.
He's a really good troll. I'm not saying he's not an
Yeah.
idiot. He's definitely
Yeah.
an idiot. I'm just saying
For
he's
a while, I thought he might have had a plan to bring window cleaning into the Special Olympics.
Well, listen, like Damien said, he's a lot of smirking and he's like laughing, talking, like trying to maintain that Jello persona. It was, you could tell it was difficult for him to do. He was struggling to keep it together. I was actually like, Jesus.
Yeah,
he's a good
actively,
dude. I shouldn't fuck with him. I don't really fuck with him.
I didn't say he was a good dude. I don't know much about him. What I'm saying is, Mark, I don't think he's as dumb as he lets on.
Okay, well then he's a master fucking troll because he's got a lot of people fooled. So I got to give him props for that.
Yeah, he's definitely like the posing with the empty Dawn bottle without a shirt on. Like, listen, dude, I'm telling you, he's trolling.
We gave him too many pats. Yeah, we patted his back so bad on that.
I couldn't because when we. I'll be honest with you. I specifically invited him late to the show once we were already rolling. So what we do is we do the same thing that we do here, but it's private. So only the channel members, which is $2. I don't care. Get over it. $2 to see it. I got $79.80 in my Gmail AdSense account. I'm trying to get to $100 so I can buy like a
some
bag
Jell-O.
of weed or something. You know what I mean? But
he needs weeds.
Listen, dude. Like I was like, I'm gonna invite this guy. I'm not gonna give him any prep time. You know what I mean? We're going right into the fire. And I'm telling you, man, you could tell he was putting it on. You know what I mean? You could tell. Am I wrong? Damien?
No.
Tim? I mean, you could tell, dude. You could tell. So, he's
doing it. He's doing it in other groups that are in other industries, trying to get the traction like he did here too. So
here's the thing: when somebody posts something anonymous in pro window cleaning, there's like 35,000 window cleaners. As an admin, we see who posts that. Like it shows still for us. Like an anonymous,
really, that's
anonymous
cool.
because we have to prove it. He's posted things in there like, "Oh, Jello's riling shit up over there," and he'll post a picture of something he said in another group in that one anonymously to try to stir the pot some more. He knows what he's doing.
Hilarious.
Well, then I have to backtrack and say I got a little bit of respect for the dude because that is killer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
that's what you said.
Mark.
Should
Mark,
you keep
he's
messing with him?
posting-
Yes, because that's what he wants.
Yes.
So, yeah.
He's
doing.
posting
Engagement's
in
off the charts.
he's posting in baking groups and shit, brother. Like, dude is like legitimately trolling. Like, I'm not saying that he's like Eddie Stewart is smart. You know what I mean? Like he's a smart guy. Yeah. He's a really good troll. He's well read.
Shit comes from fucking brilliance and out of the box thinking.
But
this guy is right in your face, but he's good at fooling people.
Yes. I think there's like it's like an idiot savant type of thing. You know what I mean? Honestly, like.
What do you do if you like grow up all your life and you look dopey? Like you could either try to fight against it, or you could just be like, you know what, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna roll with it. That's why he gets it, because all of his posts and pictures and everything, he's got like this dumb look on his face. He gets it. He knows what he's doing.
Like
after talking to him the next day, I didn't expect him to be half naked with a Dawn bottle, dude.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Like, I don't know if the mugshot's real or not. I don't. I've never heard of the mugshot thing. I don't know what that's about.
It certainly looks real, but I could make that too.
Well, he's his email has something to do, like he's in some way, shape, or form he was either into or at one point either is or was at one point into powerlifting.
He's a big dude.
He's a big dude. And his email, I'm not going to give his email address out, has something to do with powerlifting.com type of shit. Like the dude's, like I said, he's expert level troll. And I will say this.
He's got that R-tard strength. Right?
I'll say this. I will say this, and people are probably going to get pissed off, but he can clean windows better than a few fucking guys. You know what I mean? I'm just saying he's gotten way better at cleaning windows, too. So, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
well, he takes the soap studies to a new fucking level.
Dude, Mark, again, I think that is because, like, when I said this, I was like, you know, your soap shit is just hilarious. And I was like, and it gets like hundreds of comments, and he just kind of snickered. Like you could see
That means
Bro,
that he's doing it.
I told you we accidentally patted his back too much on Sunday, and he went fucking balls deep. On Monday.
It kind of is interesting that you guys interviewed him, and then he shows up fucking 3/4 naked.
Yeah.
On the internet.
Well, we were
Like, no, it's. I mean, he's like AI, right? Like he goes in these groups, he sees what causes traction, and then he's like, "Oh, everyone bitches about soap.
Yeah.
Here's my topic. Here's the hill I'm gonna die
Well, soap
on."
has always been a fucking debate, and I don't give a shit how long you've been cleaning windows. And I've said it, and I don't say it anymore. You guys look at soap way too much. Okay,
Yeah,
I've cleaned windows with hand soap in a bathroom because I ran out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And got through my day. So I don't want to hear what works better. If you need one specific thing to make you better, you need to find a new job.
Jersey, we need him either in the calendar, like a pull-out centerfold in the magazine with that
I got a little
picture.
respect. We don't want too much.
Something like that. That'd be a centerfold magazine.
Well, I can
of
tell
him
you
with
right
that
now,
picture would be fucking hilarious.
somebody suggested that that picture be in the next WCR calendar and tag Chris, and Chris has already got the creative team working on it, so it's already a thing.
It is.
Unfortunately,
fucking great.
Chris feeds into that shit. Chris likes chaos.
Yeah.
He likes interaction, and
Yes.
there's more interaction when there's a troll in there. Like
Yes.
the XI guy, like he's lazy. He's a lazy troll. Like he just does dumb things. But when somebody can post something and be like, "Yeah, I don't know, I think I'm dumb," that's like his new theme now.
Yeah.
He's 112 comments. Like that is the interaction that nothing else gets. I could jump on and be like, "Hey guys, I got a great tip," and there would be 7 people see it, and my mom would like it. Like he can come out with no shirt, sniffing Dawn, and be like,
"That is so fucking true, man."
He just crashed all the fucking Facebook.
That is so true. What you just said right there is so true. Like you could drop absolute diamonds, like on this podcast, your podcast, and nobody fucking sees it. But you get on there and like, I put a half a tablespoon of milk of magnesia in my water, and then 500 fucking people respond to it. It's like, dude, what in the fuck, man?
Here's the concept of social media in general is passion. So like it's the same thing where if you eat at a good restaurant, you'll tell 3 people. If you get a bad experience, you'll tell 7. That's real concept. So the more you can make people upset, or like people, if you watch like real professional YouTubers will put an error in like the wording or something, and they'll say a word wrong or spell it wrong, and then no one will say anything about it. And that's all for interaction. There's a video this chick did, and she's doing something. It's a cooking video, and she opens the fridge and grabs the ketchup and closes it. In the fridge was a box of tampons, like on one of the shelves, kind of off to the side.
Right.
And as soon as somebody saw it, now everybody goes back to rewatch the video, and then everybody's commenting on that. And they're like, "Should we be doing it?" And it just all of a sudden blows up because of one thing that no one talked about or said or did anything.
2,000 people were backing up and watching that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and get me one of those
message,
dildos that you stick, like suction cup dildos, and stick it to the back of my windshield on my truck, the back window. And when I do my videos, it'll just be hanging there. I won't even acknowledge that it's there ever. It's just gonna be sitting there.
What are you guys talking about?
Though, because for you, people are gonna be like, "Oh, that's TJ." He's
Right,
the way you want.
You're right. You're
probably
right.
lunch.
Oh, that's just typical.
Yeah.
Next time you do a video in the background, just put like a big, like the novel of War and Peace or whatever, like in the background. People like that.
You see,
people think,
what you should do is like one of those Wendy's you're cleaning, and someone dressed up like Wet 'em Willie, like kind of like a Where's Waldo thing, and then never acknowledge that he was there.
Oh, what you need to do, T, you need to get really good at the editing and edit it where Wet 'em Willie is there and you at the same time, like they do in those movies. You know what I'm saying?
I could probably
Film
pull that
yourself
off
and
with
then
the
put
green
yourself
screen.
back in next to the other guy.
I could probably pull that off with green screen. I could probably
That would
pull
be
that
fucking
off.
cool.
The ghost of Wet 'em Willie just creeping in.
Yeah.
Right.
Put in subliminal flickers of Jello's half naked picture. And it's only one frame, so people
I mean,
are
I
like,
could put Bernie Sanders watching you clean windows. That would be fun.
The time you had the zebra cakes, like as
A pouch.
as your squeegee holder, was one of my favorite things you've ever done. I love.
Wet 'em Willie's officially retired, man. He's done. No more Wet
I
'em
forgot
Willie.
the shirt. He'll never be retired for me.
Oh, you have the shirt? So does you. That's right. You do have a shirt. You have a
I've
shirt.
got it too. That big shirt that says Willie.
Yeah.
You know what the problem with that shirt is, T? Is that I don't know if it's a Klingon iron art. It's so huge, and the shirt doesn't move. Because you're
it's
walking
so
around
stiff.
with this fucking sandwich board on.
Well,
yeah.
listen. It's not meant to be like fashion wear. It's like like wear it occasionally. You know what I mean? Like Luke's wife Rihanna, she had one and she wore it to the huge convention, which was absolutely fucking dope. When I seen her, I was like, "Oh, you are the sweetest person." And then Jersey came out the next day with it on. I'm like, "Motherfucker!"
I planned it.
Lots of waiting for any time I know you're gonna be there.
I have like
Oh.
15. I could go get them right now. I've got like 15 of those shirts that says the Jurors on them because when we worked together in Orlando, and nobody took those. It's not anything personal. They
Nobody took those.
I ended up. You guys packed up. Dude, these guys packed up a box and go, "Here, Tanner, take this home with you."
Dude,
You know?
Mark's like, "I got a box of rags."
On the show, let me check you.
In my defense, we forgot we put them under because when we were setting everything up, we put all the boxes under the table, set a couple shirts out. When we were all done packing it up, we took the tablecloth and we were like, "Oh fuck!" Like they're all there still. So we had like 300 shirts, and I think we gave away like 4 of them because we forgot that we had.
And I ended up welding them. I pressure cleaning them. I mean, some of them have big burn holes in them, but like, why are we keeping this? Because I'm going to use it tomorrow and destroy my clothes,
That really?
Yes, I use it for trash.
Thanks. Jersey's like, "Geez, thanks, dude."
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they
Be
still
forever
get used.
before
They're
he
still
comes back
being
now,
used.
Mark.
Well,
So
at least he didn't say he used him to wipe his ass.
Right.
No, I don't do that. I got more respect for Jersey than that.
I actually, we have Jersey on, who's like a preeminent salesperson in our industry, and I actually have a question for you. Now that everyone's regretting that they voted for Trump, and he's ruining all our lives, have you noticed a downtick in sales in window cleaning equipment?
Not at all.
Me neither.
This month, which actually closes today, is the biggest month WCR has ever had, and we've never had a May smaller than April. So next month will then be our next biggest month ever. So
it's awesome. Yeah, I saw you guys
big.
Sent out like 800, 900 and something orders in one day.
Yeah, we hit 947, I think now.
That's a record, wasn't it?
Day we put that. And here's the thing that's crazy is that there's barely any orders that have one box. So that's like 2,000 boxes made and put in. We have literal truck. I mean, you guys have seen it, but trucks that just sit there and they're just loading boxes all day at noon, and then they go so we have more room. It's pretty nuts.
That's awesome.
Seth, I
like bees in there,
I don't know if people could see there scrolling at the bottom of your screen. You can actually order things from me, not Jersey. Fuck that guy. Seth ordered something from me. What was it? The brushes? And Seth's like, I just got it. Yeah, Seth's like, we just got off the phone. I just got a fucking email. It's in transit. What the fuck's going on? I'm like, they don't mess around.
It's like 45 minutes. Yeah,
they don't mess around over there. They are on top of it. You guys have got it together, man. What's up, Scrub and Wash? Yeah,
when
it's
you watch some of the videos, not to plug a video, but Steve and I do a warehouse video every year we go through. And when you watch that video, it shows you like the new print station, which TJ, you've seen it and been there, but the printers only do 500 pages because it's a ream of paper. And there's 5 printers, 5 different things that go off. And they run through all the paper in the thing, 500 sheets. And then as soon as they reload it in the morning, all the printers kick back on because there's still a bunch of orders. So like after a long weekend, it's just...
Yeah, when I was there on I think I was there on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. I'm not exactly sure which it was, but I got there at like 7:30 in the morning. I got there, and it was just Chris, and his daughter, just kind of floating around, and just shooting the breeze. And Chris is like, I'm like, what is that over there? And I was pointing to the printout station, and like, it was like there was no paper left. Like, you know what I mean? There's like, it was
like stacks
of paper, like from orders overnight. And I can tell you, as a zero sales rep, I have an iPad with my notifications going on, and that thing goes off all night long. All night long, there's sales going off all night long. It's crazy. It kind of makes you worried about if you're a window cleaner being a sales rep. It kind of makes you worried, like, man, somebody's gonna like take all my windows from me because there's so many dudes buying shit. Like, where are all these dudes at? You know?
Yeah. I'll tell you though, like, Chris is like, if you don't know, he's super way over the top, like Rain Man with numbers. He like knows everything always. It's very unnerving at some points, but we know how many window cleaners there are basically in the country, and we've known that for 10 years, right? All the backtracking and everything.
Right.
And the uptick of window cleaners has been slight. I'm talking 2% maybe. And this is the first time that it's been up this year over last, or I should say last year, like in the last 12 months, has up about 2%. And in the last 10 years, we haven't had an uptick of window cleaners. So what's happening is we're getting a bunch of new window cleaners because we're selling thousands of Zero systems literally a year. And it's like, where are they going? But what it is that people get in, they go, I'm going to do this thing. And then they realize they can't really run a business anyway. They leave, and then another person just takes their spot. So it's like you got people leaving, retiring, being dumb, and then you got new people coming in. Well, if you search anything about window cleaning, what do? You find us. So we're always the ones that get the new people, you know? So that's kind of
we have a question here for you, Jersey. Jason Lehman, of course, has always got the earth-shattering questions. When are you guys moving into the new warehouse?
Man, we have to buy and build and construct a new warehouse, and then we will be. So
listen, I'm gonna put this out there. We got this big building down here in Newark. It's 6-story basket. You paint it, throw on some stickers,
and stick a washer in it and a squeegee, and it's the Longenberger company, the old
right.
But the only thing is, there's no warehouse space there. It's just an office building.
You got property. You could build a warehouse next to it.
I mean, what do you
That's
think,
just
Chris
the mecca for the window cleaners.
The problem, really, what it is between you and I, is that they're in New York, and New York frickin' sucks. Like, there's nothing. Yeah. It's not like you're like, oh, what about that old abandoned? There's no anything. Like, to buy a building is a 3-year process because you buy it and then you have to talk to the town that doesn't give out permits for anything to be able to like extend the road so we can put in the size building that they'll permit to allow us to put it. It's like a whole big thing. So it's like if they were anywhere else, it would have been a lot easier. But
that's what Chris was saying. Chris was saying that his next move is not going to be. He's like, I'm not going to move to an existing thing. He goes, I'm going to build a facility.
We have to
and buy a piece of property. So if I need to expand, I can expand. You know what I mean? Because I can tell you, when I was there was absolutely zero room. There was none.
It's to the ceiling.
It's
like
literally
we have like
30-foot
ceiling.
yeah, that's crazy.
Crazy. Yeah,
and you've already moved once, right?
We've moved like 5 times.
Yeah,
our first the first warehouse was literally in like a condoed unit. You know, where like mechanic will have like one slot, and then there's like the next door is one slot. We had that. And like when the garage door was closed, all the shelves were against the garage door, so we couldn't close the garage door or like open the garage door. That was like the first one. This has gone through iterations, but just in growth, it's just kind of. This is a number I could share, but we have right now over $11 million of paid inventory just in our warehouse.
Wow!
It's
wow!
It's a pretty amazing operation. And the thing about it that I was actually surprised the most about was the people. Mm-hmm. The people are I mean, it's a vibe. They're all.
Yeah.
I mean, you could tell, like, Chris and Alex's fingerprints are all over that place. You know what I mean? You could tell what.
You can usually tell when you walk into a business how happy the employees are by the way they speak and treat you. Aside from them, like you walk into Chick-fil-A and everybody jumps up and down and says hello. It's totally fake. But like I work for City Furniture, and you can tell, or even Whole Foods, a good company to work for because the people want to be there.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They're there obviously to make a living.
Right.
But their attitude about work is, okay, what can I do for you next? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Whereas you walk into a business that's struggling or the employees don't want to be there, they're assholes. They're not looking to help anybody. So
it's a trick too because there's different positions, right? So like Justin, who's the most amazing graphics dude ever. I mean, we have 81 people that work there. So like obviously we have like 3 people that just do social media. That's all they do. We have a person who just does YouTube. Like that's all they do all day, every day. Well, one of our people that we have is just graphics. That's all he does. and he's this super chill, just cool dude. He's just got like an awesome just demeanor about him. He'll be in his office and not talk to anybody for 2 weeks, and then you're like, "Oh, hey, yeah, you're here," and he's like, "Yeah, what's up, man?" Like that's like you have to find the people who vibe in that like certain situations, and then you have Packers who are super energetic. They have to have that kind of motif to that to be able to get that done. You find there's like a specific person that works very well,
Right.
and that's kind of the key to it. That's why Alex and Chris work together. And if I worked with my brother, I would murder him on the second day.
You know, a lot of the new.
I've almost killed my brother.
Well, you could
multiple
tell.
times,
You
so.
could tell who's good at what. Chris is really good at, like you said, the numbers and the the logistics of things, and the business side of it. And Alex is really tuned into the equipment. Like I asked Chris a question about his system. He's like, you probably ought to ask Alex. Like,
Yeah, I've had to call.
How it goes, man. You need that.
Yeah.
You
and
need that.
Alex responds. Yeah.
yeah.
That's my brother's like a savant with I think we have like I can't remember 4,000 or 5,000 customers in a database. You can give him the name, he'll tell you the street address and the town they live in.
Really?
I swear to God, it's
That's wild,
so
man.
weird.
That's dope.
Yeah. But he's like you need
toothpicks.
you need somebody who does that, and then you need someone who can but if he needed to go on a job site and run 4 guys, it's like chaos for him. So
Right.
You kind of need lanes though too. Like you can't. If you both did the same thing, you'd just be fighting for people to hear what you get. Like you have to have your own lane and stay out of the other lane.
Right.
It's why we had to grow, honestly, so that we didn't have to work together.
Yeah.
Like that's literally why we grew it. It was because it's like, all right, I can do this, you do that thing.
KT, the boxes being packed. Not only are they being packed, but they're literally triple checked. That's not just a thing that they say. They literally triple check every order. Like there's a stamp. Like there's I check this, then I check this, then I check this. Like it's legitimate, dude.
Speaking of savants, I'm gonna. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Mark. Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say something that I found fascinating. If you guys don't know, you need to look this up. You remember that show Taxi?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. You know that woman on there, Mary Lou Henner, the redhead?
Yeah.
Hot for a redhead?
Yeah.
Right? Well, anyway, if you look her up, she has a condition. Speaking of savants, okay, you could tell her a date, any date, okay? If you said March 23rd, 1972,
Tuesday.
right off the top of her head, she would go, that was a Thursday. I was in Boston. The weather was 38 degrees. I mean, she'll tell you, that's the day that, President Reagan was shot at. I mean, she fucking can remember any date at any time, the weather, the events that happened that day, and you can look them up. I mean, that's the way her brain works, which is absolutely nuts.
Yeah. She forgets her name sometimes, but she can remember those things,
Right.
Right. That's crazy.
It's weird when people have that ability to just kind of hone in on a super specific thing, and it just works for them.
Yeah.
It's
years
nuts.
ago, she was on Stern, and I'm like, and he was making her do this, not making her, she was doing it. And you literally could Google that day, okay? And you wouldn't know the weather unless she told you where she was at the time. But every single event that happened that day, like there was a parade, and this and that, she remembers everything. That is nuts.
Just to know the date, that sounds really super simple, but that's a huge math equation to figure that out.
Well, yeah, if I told you March 23rd, 1970, and you immediately said that was a Thursday, is nuts.
Yeah, it's total math. It's calculating the 360. It's like a huge equation that like normal people can't do just in general. That one piece of it.
Right. I mean, that's like genius shit,
Well, you got to count leap year in.
Yeah, exactly.
It's weird.
Just think if I was like, hey, what day of the week was April 7th of this year? You'd be like, let's carry the 4. It was a Tuesday? No, it was a Monday.
Yeah. Like I remember growing up, I never understood that leap year. Probably still don't. My buddy Scott Schultz, his dad was born on a leap year, so he's like, my dad's only 4 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's cool.
Fun though.
Really cool.
I was gonna say when Jersey popped on, it made me think of how long Jersey's been on YouTube for. Because I remember working for another company. I think I want to say 2010 or 2009. You used to Was it Jersey and the Mole? Am I wrong about that?
Mole in Jersey was the
Mole in
first
Jersey.
like show with Michael Mole, who's not even a window cleaner anymore. That was fun because that was like a variety. Like we had like segments and stuff. That was fun.
Well, it was
That's
also
like a
like
morning
older. It was
backpack.
like older YouTube too, where like things were like different. But I remember
even,
that like
even before that, I did. This is like when Chris and Alex. So I was the first person to sign up for their forum that wasn't known by them, like employed by them or friends with them. I was like the first like real just random person because I knew they were in a group and they're like, I started a forum, and I'm like, oh, these kids aren't gonna do anything. But I started doing content for them like way back when. That was like 15 years ago. I started doing that. Like those are the videos when like everything is super grainy and like awful and
So even when I came on the scene, 2015 or something like that, when I started doing videos and shit, you guys were still shipping.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was funny.
You were
literally went from not drop shipping to drop shipping because we could have more product, and then realized that the other company that we shipped through sucked, and then we brought everything back. We went through a bunch of different iterations of how we did this.
But it's just amazing to go from drop shipping with that company, then seeing them at the convention and shoot, and they're doing their own water fed poles. They're not even selling their own shit. That's what it's just wild.
It's weird too because way back when, you guys have heard the stories. Inner circle people, of course, but every company hated us. Like every company hated us, and they were so vocal about how stupid Chris and Alex were and how awful they were. So Chris and Alex were like, cool, we'll break the noise because we'll start something a different way. We'll talk some shit here and there so that you guys kind of see. And then all of a sudden everybody's like, oh yeah, we don't wear ties. Like, let's hang out with these guys. And it changed the whole shifted thing. And now, again, we know numbers for everything. We carry 60% of the entire market. So we have more business than the other 10 total window cleaning companies.
Isn't that amazing?
Do you think that, Jersey, do you think that, okay, so you guys probably know these, are a majority of your new customers new window cleaners, or they came from other distributors?
They're new window cleaner. So here's what my theory is, because I like the other companies. They're super cool. Like, not hating on anybody, but some of them, it shocks me when I'm like, a new window cleaner buys from a different company, and you're like, how in all of hell did you find the other company? Like, they're not.
You guys pop up first everywhere.
You really had to try not to find us, which is cool. But we get kind of the new people come in because they do find us. But there's still guys that have been cleaning windows. I did this. My dad did this. We've always bought from XYZ, and we still buy from them. And they're still paper catalogs, and that's cool. Like, we'll fit the niche when we need to.
Right. Well, there's a certain,
I miss the paper catalogs.
There's a certain distributor that was grandfathered in. I know a lot of guys that are just old school and are like, Dad bought from him. And I used to buy from them till I got screwed around one time, and that was it. I'm over. It's gone.
Peter would like to know.
I'll tell you too, this is like
Jersey.
kind of on the back end side of like what we see is that eventually you get so big you can just decide you're the DMV and you can just fuck people. Yeah. And then it's like, I don't have to care that much because what are you gonna do? Go somewhere else? And people went, like, that's what I'm gonna do. So they kind of merged out of that for that.
So reason. Of course you don't know, Jersey, but can the industry sustain the amount of distributors now? Like, a new distributor probably wouldn't make it 6 months. However, do you think, just an opinion, that the amount of distributors, let's say there's 6 of you guys, right?
Yeah.
And if you're already 60% of the market share, do you think these other guys are going to be around in 5 years?
No. So, of no fault kind of in all of theirs, but I think in 2026, we will lose at least one big one. By 26 or in 26.
Yeah.
25 this year has been economically really impactful, so I think everybody's sitting on money right now. But there has been some things that popped up, like a COVID situation where it was like all of a sudden everybody's like, I don't make any money, and they're not strong enough to survive that. So there's a lot of people that are kind of just.
We got a guy asking a question here of you, Jersey. He wants to know if you guys ship worldwide, and I don't think you guys do. Do you?
We do.
You do?
We do ship worldwide, yeah. But shipping duties and taxes on anything that's not in the U.S., so it's not always the cheapest, especially if somebody's like, I want to try this squeegee. pretty
Right.
expensive.
Costs you as much to get it over there, more
Now,
to get it
you
over
know,
there. Than
yeah.
it costs,
Now,
yeah.
if you're looking for some zero gear, then then it's worth it. Then because then you're buying the best shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I'll tell you, there are so many people in international companies that buy Zero because it's an American brand and it's like the known brand. There's guys we have literally almost daily from other countries that just come in to buy shirts. And they'll just like send a box of like, it'll be $200 worth of like apparel sent to like Sweden, and they'll pay like $383 in shipping.
Jesus
It'll just to
Christ.
be to have like that kind of, it'd be cool. Like if you got like, I got a racing shirt from Italy. Like, look at this.
Well, it's
that
just
same
like the
concept.
dudes
It's
that
like,
all the dudes that wear the maker meet your maker T-shirts that Tim did. They're
Yeah.
fucking trampling over themselves to get one of those.
Yeah, it's
Right.
it's a culture thing because like in the UK, window cleaners are just like bottom of the shoe, like route, just guy.
Right.
They're like, you deliver pizzas or you clean windows. What do you do?
Right.
So we have a different culture here where it's not that we're superstars, but in our own thing that we've built, people are like, oh dang, yeah, you got a big company. Like, it's a different
Right.
mindset too. So it's
Right.
kind of
Different
Kinda cool.
different ticket prices. Everything's different here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's also just viewed differently historically there as
Right.
well too.
What I would like
it
to
has
know
a-
is how the fuck we got 22 people watching this and 9 thumbs up. You guys are pieces of shit.
Yeah, give me a thumbs up now.
Yeah, give me a
or
thumbs up, you
I'll kill you.
bastards. Free content since what? How long we've been doing this? A long time. Free
you didn't stir the
content.
pot enough. You got to take a
340 some
take out a Jell-O.
episodes.
Yeah. We don't
mean, that's
listen.
of this
Listen,
iteration.
Jersey. We're trying to turn over a new leaf here, dude. You know what I mean? We're trying to be more conscientious of our viewers and potential viewers, and we don't say anything
What we say.
controversial anymore. Jacob is
Except for
I'll
last
stop,
week.
What
I'll
I like
stop
about
making
Jacob is
TikToks making
Jacob-
fun of you.
just so
I saw
people
one the
know
other
that
day.
Jacob is on the
Good
show.
one.
You just can't see him on camera because he's sitting to the left of his camera. So like he likes to sit back, then you can't see him. That we just got a good view of his fishing poles and his
He's
Fuse
promoting
box.
that.
Panel.
fuse
What
What is
box.
that? A 20 slot panel? Nice.
Yep.
Tight.
Yeah.
Tight, brother.
What you got in that bad boy? 200 amps?
Yeah.
Tight, dude.
See how many breakers you got, brother.
Right.
He opens it, it still just fuses, and we all feel bad. Like, all right.
Yeah, like,
Right.
how'd you get just fuses?
Well, we're not going to do what distributor
I have a
fucked
lake
over
in my
Mark on this
backyard.
podcast. We're not going to do that.
Hell yeah.
No, they didn't mess me over. It was just they sent me something wrong, and when I said, "Hey, send me a shipping label so I could send it back," rubbers were short by 2
No.
inches. The answer was, "We're not going to send you a shipping label. Pull them tight." And I go, "Pull them tight." Yeah, take a
They
20
didn't
inch and
say
make it
that
a
to you.
22.
You are
They
lying.
said, "Pull it tight." Okay, I'm a liar. I'll bet I
Pull it tight.
That's what they told me. Pull it
Listen,
tight.
Who did this?
As somebody who's in like an industry that's customer service based, like we will have people who just aren't. There's people who are not happy with us because
Yeah.
something we did, and then the 40
Yeah, we
steps
know
we
one of
took to
those
try to make it
fucking guys.
better. They still don't like us, but we've never told anybody to pull it tight. So
Pull it tight.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I was told you're not
E,
getting a
F,
shipping
G,
label.
H, I,
Pull them
J,
tight.
K, L.
And I go, you know
Okay.
what? Dad bought from you, and I no longer will.
The
Goodbye.
only person I've ever told to pull it tight is Tim. You know what I mean?
Ah.
Now it's on our way back from Nashville. Are you going to Nashville
Tight.
again?
Hey,
Dude, you
I had
have
to pay
to
for
shove
the
a ham
ride.
up there and pull the bone out to make it tight.
Jersey, are you going to Nashville this year?
I am going to Nashville. By the way, the best year that we've ever had was last year because it was such a social year. Like it was the herd of people there that were just there to just hang was amazing. It was
Yeah.
like a no year has ever been before on the huge
It's weird.
convention.
It's weird when the Squeegee Live podcast says they're going to show up. It just seems like they come out in droves, isn't it? Isn't that weird?
Weird, right?
You would
So, Jersey,
almost
it was
think
bigger
that.
than when you guys ran it, when Chris and Alex ran it.
Well, so it was bigger. I mean, it was not necessarily bigger. I mean, it was more. It was a little different, but we haven't had a year in a very long time where it's always just been business, 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 and then all of a sudden last year it was like, oh, it's like business, but like everybody's here. We could just hang out.
Yeah,
Like
Frank was
it
there.
just
Eddie
a
was
refresh.
there. We were there.
I'm gonna pee. I'll be back.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
was pretty.
I mean, there was. It was like he said. It was a really social event. You know what I mean?
Fucking right.
Frank Reeve. I am free.
Yeah. I had the window cleaner.
Go snort
of
some
the
blow.
year.
That fucker
That
could
dude's
walk
so
down the
tall.
aisle, and it was like the sea parting of quietness with that loud voice.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Dude, he's a walking
Yeah.
cartoon. Literally a walking cartoon.
He's also like 7.5 feet tall.
Yeah, there's
He's
that,
like the
too.
tallest dude I've ever
There's
met.
also
And
Yeah,
then
I
how
remember
did-
when we seen him walking at us. It looked like something out of a movie. Holy
How
shit!
did he get mugged? Is what I don't understand.
He didn't
Like,
get
he's the one that
mugged.
got
He didn't
mugged.
get mugged. He got took. There's a different thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He
I
got
got you.
took.
I got you.
Yeah.
I thought he got
Gotta get that.
mugged. Like, who's
That's
gonna
what
mug
happens when
that
you're trying to
dude?
get that old stank.
Out there
You gotta
looking for
watch
that
out
white
for.
girl got took.
Yeah.
Lucky he didn't get a
Yeah,
bunch
yeah.
of fucking fentanyl and fucking died.
Yeah.
Lucky.
He probably got baby
Oh,
powder
God.
and fucking dust.
This shit's
Gotta be
burning my
careful,
nose.
Yeah.
And not in a good way.
it would have been hilarious if he brought back a trainee or something. You know, like, hey, Frank. By the way,
Mark,
Frank.
Mark,
Frank,
we don't
what?
say that here.
No,
We're
I mean, I'm
politically
talking
correct.
like a C6 or a C4.
Yeah.
Talking
Or
about
a
in a
turbo
car.
350. Yeah,
Yeah.
that kind of train.
So, Mark, did you see my message where I said that it's a different cylinder this time on the F-150, dude? It's the
Really?
number 2. It's the one right next to number 3.
Yeah. Okay, but is that one failed before?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
But
By
that
the way,
still doesn't take away the
kudos.
fact that the
Kudos to you
tailpacks
guys
are
talking
failing.
about blowing hookers and trannies and then going into real conversations just like that.
Hey, dude,
That's a
this
skill.
is Squeegee
Amazing.
Life
There's an
Podcast,
art
dude.
to that.
This is what we do here, man.
Yeah.
In my
Imagine-
head, I'm like, cylinder number 2? What is he talking about? What does that mean? Like, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm
Yeah.
way behind.
Yeah.
No, that's kind of truck talk. That
Yeah.
happens, you know.
I had a misfire. I replaced all the coils on the gray mare and the gray ghost, as I like to commonly refer to my truck, and I replaced all the coil packs last September, and now I've been randomly dropping coil packs here left and right. Like every month or two, I got to replace a coil pack. And Mark said I should have bought Fomoco, and I bought Edelbroken instead, and now I'm paying for it. So
Yeah.
still gotta buy my ultralight pole from you, TJ. Yeah, dude, you just gotta take a picture of your credit card and trust me with it.
That's what I did, but it was scary. No.
Come
We
on,
were just
dude.
talking
I
about
deleted
cokes and
it.
trannies.
I have a job,
TJ just bought he bought 2 Monster Energy drinks. It was fine.
Dude, listen, I'm not.
He's not going to use it for that much.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna do that, dude. There's a reason why I'm
I
a
gotta get a
sales rep.
tip.
It's not because I'm a douchebagger. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
Damien
He'll
says
take
it's
good
my
care of it.
map sensor, Mark.
No.
No, my EGR valve has been replaced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, if you're dropping cylinders, it's a coil pack.
Maybe it's my O2 sensor that I refuse to replace.
That still won't drop
Damn
a
it.
single cylinder.
Maybe it's my catalytic
Damn it.
converter.
No,
But
cut
I'm
it
gonna
Maybe
out.
cut
it's time
off.
for TJ to pull the old,
I like where he's
pull the
going.
old, buy
Yeah.
a new truck.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's time for
Like, well,
TJ
maybe
this
to
is the
fucking
thing.
listen to
Oil
somebody
change,
for
isn't it?
once.
This is the thing, though. I am in I just filed my first round of taxes as Squeegee Life LLC. I have to file one more year's worth of taxes to buy something with my business. You know what I mean? I got to have a credit history.
True. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I need this to go one more year. You know what I mean? Because my next vehicle is going to be a business purchase. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Perfect. Yes.
So, because I want a Illuma Duty is what I want. I want an Illuma Duty with a flatbed. That's what I want.
Be nice.
Which I heard you do need for doing podcasts.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
That
You
could be a
do.
write-off,
Actually,
for
you
sure.
know, it's a thing that you gotta
hauling
have.
those big old heifers around.
Listen, I don't know. I don't know if you've seen the woman I roll around with, but she's far from a heifer, and I'm telling her you said that.
No.
She's watching.
You're not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm not have nothing to do with Jen. I'm talking about when you're on the outskirts by the farm fields. You know.
You know how much trouble you're gonna get me in for saying that, dude? Like now she's gonna fucking. Now I'm in trouble. Thanks a lot, Mark.
All TJ's lights just
Hard
turn
to
off.
sign
Yeah,
Oh,
dude. Yeah, dude. My camera's gonna go dark. You're gonna hear a lot of shuffling
make
Jen's
around.
standing behind you with a golf club.
she seems
Shit out of me.
she
TJ
seems like
comes
the
back
type of
with a
girl who
black eye.
madball you. You know what I mean?
Jennifer is she stabbed her sister. I probably shouldn't have said that on camera.
Damn.
She didn't mean to stab her. She threw the knife across the room. It just happened to stab her.
But did the
Oh,
bitch
that's
have it
different.
coming to her? I mean, come on.
Oh, it might have been a
You know
vacuum.
she
It
did.
might have been a vacuum cleaner. Something like really inflicted an injury on her sister. at one
There's
point.
a big difference though between a knife and a vacuum. Like,
I think it might have been
One's
both.
heavy.
There's a chance it could have been both.
She just happened to have a knife in a vacuum.
She's mad right now at me. I can tell you.
I know.
She's
gonna
Jersey.
madball you.
My wife, my daughter, my sister, her boyfriend, my mom, and their neighbors all get together on Wednesday nights and watch this podcast in the living room. It would be
Nice.
cool if they
Pretty dope.
all watched on separate devices, so our numbers would go up. But
yeah.
They
I was
just
gonna
watch
say,
it
was
on
that the
TV.
20 there?
yeah,
Are there at least 9 of them? Is that who's giving the thumbs up?
yeah.
Only no.
All 9 of them gave me a
Probably.
thumbs up real quick. Sweetheart.
You're like, actually, there's 10 of them. I don't know who's not giving.
Who's
me
the other one?
I had a question, but Mark said something, and now I can't remember it.
trannies?
No, yeah, the trannies. That was where the
Yeah.
cylinder came from. That's what they call those. They don't call them. They call them cylinders because it's just an empty hole.
Yeah.
Just a socket. Unbelievable. I'm gonna sell all kinds of window cleaning tools now.
What do you do in the summer? I want to ask that question. Like, what do you guys have for plans? Is anybody doing anything awesome?
I
What
Summertime?
do I got?
It's so hot here. You gotta stay inside.
yeah.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Actually.
I've got a wedding.
Yeah.
Wedding.
It's exciting.
Probably floating around in my pool. Watching Jennifer float around in the pool is one of my favorite things to do. Actually, that's my favorite. That's the only reason why I have that pool is to watch Jennifer float around in it. I pester my mom. Just, that's typically what I do in the summer. Watch Jennifer float around in the pool, scantily clad, and pester my mother and father and my children. Just annoy the shit out of as many people as I possibly can. Which is like I do that in the winter too.
It's kind of a year-round
It's kind
hobby.
of, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, it's kind of a year-round thing that I do.
You're a year-round dick.
Yeah, I'm a year-round asshole. So
Yeah, I don't think I'm having too much of a summer. I got little ones, so I got to wait till they get a little bit bigger, and then we
Yeah.
can do
Dude,
fun stuff.
My oldest daughter graduates high school this month.
Oh Lord.
Nice.
That's awesome, though.
Crazy.
But
Yeah.
also
Great.
probably feels super weird.
Super weird and super sad.
Yeah.
So you're
Yeah,
like, oh.
Yeah.
Seth's
Yeah.
on the
She
Seth's
don't-
on the very beginning of that.
yeah. I decided to wait till 40 and be like, you know what? Why don't I start now? This sounds like a good time.
I have tons of energy. Let's do this.
Yeah. Honestly, it's been awesome.
The
So
catch out.
I'm
Go to
enjoying it.
Nashville and if you want to meet another window cleaner, go to Nashville and meet all kinds of window cleaners, dude. That's where you
Oh,
go
man.
to go to the huge convention in Nashville in August, man.
And
you'll
then
meet
you won't
everyone.
ever
Yeah.
want to go again.
Then you'll be like, you know what? I've met window cleaners and it's fine now. I don't need to meet them anymore.
Don't meet your heroes.
Yeah.
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 Also, don't make window cleaners your heroes.
Yeah, and also, pick
Right,
better
right,
heroes.
yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
Are you guys
pick
all
better
going
heroes.
again though?
What's
To
that?
Nashville? Are you guys all going to Nashville? Is it
I'm
planned?
I'm planning to go. Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to
I'm
do
going
yet.
to TJ Goes.
I've got a wedding that weekend, so it's
So you're gonna
next
skip
year
the
I'll
wedding?
go. Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah, skip the wedding, My
Yeah.
wife will be super pumped with that. No, I'll probably go next year. Or maybe the IWCA. I don't know, something. Or
Where
both.
is IWCA coming up?
I
Don't
think it's
know
in
yet.
Florida, isn't it?
Did they announce it?
Orlando
Okay.
No, I don't know.
It's-
I'd heard that, but doesn't mean
That
it's
was the
true.
rumor.
Yeah. IWCA is
Keep looking
good.
for
It's
Jacob.
all
Where'd
window
Jacob
cleaners,
go?
so it's a different feeling. It's like all kind of like you don't have to hunt out people. Like I know you. It's like smaller. The huge is more of a kind of just like an event thing because it's such a big hotel. It's such a big everything. IWCA is not bad. It's between the two of them. I don't know what I'd recommend. I guess for value, but I'm not a class.
I think I
person.
had more fun. I just look at it as the networking. Not
Yeah.
networking means selling anything, but just hanging out. I had much more fun at the huge than
Yeah.
I did.
The social networking
Yeah,
is
yeah,
a great
yeah.
time.
Mhm.
You get more out of that too. I like classes like in the idea of them, but I've learned more things over all the years. I've gone to 15 IWCAs probably, and the biggest things I've ever learned was sitting at the bar and some guy says something, you're like, wait, what?
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
this,
yeah.
this, and this, and you take it home and you make another,
That's true.
$50,000 in a year
Yeah,
for
that's true.
whatever.
Listen, We stayed at an Airbnb 20, 30 minutes away. We had probably the best time once we got back to that Airbnb.
Yeah.
And we were up for 3-4 more hours. Just roll. I don't think any of us slept more than 12 hours the whole time we were there.
Yeah.
And we just roll laughing. You know, it was
We
an
had a good
amazing time.
It was a really good time.
Good time.
It was fun.
There's a weird
Yeah.
bond that you have with like other window cleaners too, where people don't like. I don't want window cleaner friends. It's like nobody wants them, but all of a sudden you find out everybody has
That's
like
true.
that same like
Yeah.
in the back of your head thing, and like
Yeah.
your best real life friends are probably window cleaners,
Right.
like people
Well-
you've met at the events. It's shocking.
Yeah.
The only other people who can actually kind of relate, and you have to have kind of a like usually a similar mindset to want to do this.
Yes.
I don't know. You know what I mean? You got to be that certain type of person. Usually, like high functioning ADD or like something's a little bit wrong with you,
Something a
and,
little off with you.
it's fun.
Yeah, because I'm not
Yeah.
really I'm not really a people person. So, you know what I mean? I don't mind being alone and cleaning windows. You know what I mean? I'd rather not
Yeah.
do the public. You know what I mean? I used to be like, I want to be in the public, but for whatever reason, I don't know when it changed, but I just became agoraphobic.
That's kind of interesting though, because you do a lot of videos with yourself in them. You know.
Well, that's because
Here's the
that's
thing,
me
though.
and with myself.
Yeah, it's
For
different.
myself. Yeah.
That's true. I never
video
thought of that.
maker is super like shy in real life, like Luke. Luke doesn't want to talk to
Yeah.
people. He doesn't like people. He doesn't like
Nope.
settings.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Luke is not as
I think that
very
comes with
social
age, though,
guy.
Jersey. I've narrowed. It comes with age. You know, I've narrowed my circle a lot. You know, my wife's like, "You're just a grumpy old man." I go, "No, I'm not a grumpy old man. Look at
I'm
the
a happy
fucking
old
drama.
man."
Look at the drama here."
Yeah.
And I don't want to be a part of that. You
Right.
know,
I mean,
Are we
I'll
still
tell
in
you-
your circle, Mark?
huh?
Are we still in your circle?
Of course, you
Or-
guys are. I mean, sometimes I'll go in my shop, and my wife will look on the camera, and she'll come out, and she's like, "You see?" And I go, "I see what?" She's like, "You're not doing anything." I go, "But sitting here and looking at all my shit is comforting to me." You know what I'm saying? I get away from business. I just stare at my shit,
Right.
not my
Look at
little
my
shit, you know what I'm
millions.
saying?
Yeah.
No,
You're-
it's not millions. It's just gets me away. It's another just
Well, when you can
Why-
coyote swap an F-150 just randomly, you got money. You got money.
money.
Yeah.
You got money.
Money, 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 money.
You got
I
big
have,
time cash.
I have a place in the mountains that I'm like building right now, and it's just that idea of that there's nobody around.
Right.
Because all day, every day, that's all I'm doing is talking to people and chatting with people, and and everything is like energetic and trying to provide. And then sometimes on the weekends you just want to be like, cool, I'm not going to say a word for the next 10 hours.
Right.
That's a guy that
would-
kind of works too.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a great idea because, yeah, as you get older, you just want to be away from
Yeah.
people, I think.
Like when I get home from
At
work,
least I do.
I've got to.
if I don't go right in my shop because I got something to
the
do,
water's
I'll
kicking
just
my
sit on
ass.
the
I have to
porch in
pee
a
again.
rocking chair and throw a ball to my
Get you
dog.
every time.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Catherine, big dog.
What's wrong, Tim? We gotta stop at Bucky's and pee again. Dude, he gave me so much shit for having to pee.
Yeah.
Everything I can use little though. You got a littler bladder.
Yeah, it's less fluid ounces can fit in there, you know?
Isn't
So
it
it
weird though,
goes.
Mark? Like how long you were like doing things, and now your best fun is to like throw the ball to your dog.
Right. I just
It
sit there and
changes.
throw the ball. Any of my neighbors know where I am at 4:00, sitting on the porch in a rocking chair with one of those chucker things, throwing the ball as far as I can to keep the dogs running.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's relaxing to me. It's just like I said, it's very hard when you're self-employed, especially if you're a one-man show, to leave the bucket in the truck at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's important to, like, if I go to Vegas, I'm looking at glass. If I go, to your state, I'm looking at windows. How would I do this building? How is it being cleaned? But
Yeah.
it's hard to step away from that. That's why something like you're doing with the mountains is great.
Yeah. It's
Get
weird when
away.
you're younger, like your brain, and this is a super sexist comment, but as guys, like your brain is always going when you're younger. Like that's why you want to be around lots of people. You want to be around noise. Oh, let's go party. Let's go do it. Let's
Right.
open. And then as you get older, your brain starts to have more space between all the thoughts,
Yeah.
And now you can literally just like, hey, I'm gonna just turn it off for a little bit. And that's gonna
Right.
be my entire you recharge everything your whole entire day just from doing that,
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Like even, now time is limited for me. But even just like 15 minutes of just downtime, just whatever you're doing, kind of settles your brain from the day. It's nice to just have like a little bit of quiet.
Well, it's just
I'm sure
amazing
you
how
and
you
Jacob
change
really
up.
appreciate
Yeah.
quiet though right now, man. 'cause
Yeah.
you guys aren't really getting it.
I got to be honest. These kids are like awesome, super. I mean, they go to bed at like 6:50, 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
They don't get up till 7 a.m.
That's
Then they
great.
go
That's
and take a
awesome.
nap like right after they eat in the morning for
That's
like
the
another
problem. That
hour.
means you're gonna have more kids. The easier your kids are, the more
I
your
know.
wife
Well,
wants
you know,
more.
it's that
It
that's
is,
going to
yeah.
change. That's going to
Yeah,
change.
well,
So
it's already close. Yeah.
my brother has 2-year-olds, okay, and he's like, and they're twins, just like what you
Yep.
have, and he's like, I can't keep up with them, and I'm like, Chad,
Terrible
listen to me.
twos, man.
They took like an NFL football player and a 3-year-old and made the NFL football player mimic and do everything that 3-year-old did in an 8-hour day, and he couldn't do it. You understand?
It's exhausting.
Yes, because they don't. There's no off switch. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's that's kind of like my wheelhouse because I'm basically a big giant kid, and I
Yeah.
also know how to get the most out of not having to move much. Do you know if you know what I'm saying? Like I can come up with scenarios and ideas where I don't like my grandfather used to get us all there's 20 of us cousins, and he would always have a huge pile of wood and he turned it into a relay race to
Yeah.
take it from one area and then stack it over here, and the winner
Right.
got $1.
Right.
Well, he just got all his wood stacked for $1,
Right.
and then we're exhausted.
Right.
You know, we're like 6, 7, 8 years old, and it's like
Right.
it dawned on me like probably 10 years ago. I'm like, that motherfucker
Yeah.
tricked me into this shit.
I made
And
like
it's-
30 cents an hour.
yeah, I didn't even make anything. Only one of you got the $1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there'd be 20 of you rushing, and you'd be like, oh, no, you win. And like,
That's hilarious, dude.
yeah, it was fun.
Dude,
So,
and then one day you like come home, your kids are with you every minute of every day. Like when you get home, they're there because they're with your
Mhm.
wife. If you're unless
Yeah.
they're all gone and they come back.
Yeah.
And then one day like they get a job and you come back, you're like, wait, where is so and so? And you're like, oh, she's at work, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
that's
Comes
it.
like a
That's
bummer,
the change
yeah.
of everything.
Well, yeah, it goes full circle. Like right now, I'm not depressed, but I'm like sad that I don't get to see my kids as much anymore. They're all productive. You know, my older one works for me. My younger one, he's out welding. You know, he's out building shit all the time. And the only time he comes around when he has a question about something, you know, I'm like, dude, you know, he's like, he looked at another job and he's like, I got to take a weld test. I go, what are you nervous about? He's like, well, I didn't weld it too much at this place. I was doing fabrication. Can I come by and use the welder? And I'm like, do whatever you want. I go, but don't come over just because you want to weld. Come over and say, hey, Dad, you know, let's hang out. But they'll come back around. Right now, they're too busy for me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, your entire job as a parent is to get a kid to be, you only have them 18 years. And out of
Right.
that, it's probably only really like 16, right?
Right.
So like your job's to make not asshole kids. So they could be like
Yes.
productive people.
Yeah.
And then they go and start their own family. And in the very beginning, it's the hardest. So
Right.
at
Right.
30, they start to kind of come back around a little bit
Yeah.
more. You get a different relationship and
Right.
then you're old and it changes. And
You don't have you don't have the energy to do what you used to do with them, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm glad because both my kids had no choice but to play sports, you know, or be involved in something. So it was t-ball, baseball, football for a lot of years. Both of them karate, jiu-jitsu, and whatnot. Like BMX racing. They're like, my wife was strong about it. She's like, I don't care if you like it or not. Okay, you're not going to quit. You're going to finish the season, and you don't have to play next year, but you will be playing something.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we always did that. I mean, there were days when my company had to sponsor the football team because the league was so small, not enough money. I'd sponsor the team. They'd give you a banner, put your name on the shirts. It's, you know, Tuesday and Thursday practice, Saturday games all day long. And you're like, I used to go roll my eyes and I'm like, God, I don't have any time to unwind or do anything for myself. Well, now we take our dogs to that same park and the kids are practicing it. And my wife's looking at me. She's like, you want to go watch, don't you? You want to be involved? I go, yeah, I actually miss it now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because for me, the innocence of the sport when they're that young is phenomenal. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
And then they get older and start playing bigger divisions, and then the parents become a problem.
Right.
You know?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It makes a circle. It really does.
Yeah. Oh,
And,
yeah.
Without sounding like the old guy, everybody tells you this when you're younger. Everybody's probably told Seth. They probably told you that. This is how it's going to be, and you're like, oh yeah, you don't know what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then it
but
all
it
happens
happens
and
without
you're
you
like,
even knowing it. Shit. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does
Well, it's
anybody-
like
Does anybody know, or did they hear where Jacob had to go?
I think that
No, he
Sally
didn't-
wrecked him.
I don't think he.
No,
said
remember what we
anything,
were
he
talking about
disappeared.
before we went live with that issue that he's got of twisting
Oh,
something?
Yeah.
Okay. It's been 20 minutes.
I'm
So.
just worried about him. I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
He just like dropped
Yeah,
off.
I don't know if he just had to. go to the
He's
bathroom.
draining. He's draining something.
Or I
Right.
thought,
That
Oh,
or
he's not on the
I
floor.
forgot the baby
Like,
too. There might
he's
be
got he's got a little one too. Yeah,
it
he
might be
might have
something up
to
with the baby.
change him or something.
Yeah.
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 I actually have another question for the jurors. So are there any plans or anything big coming up with the American Window Cleaner magazine, or any exciting news or anything you're stoked about happening or anything like that?
So we did a redo of the magazine, and we're still kind of on that high because the new kind of magazine, just the content, the way it's laid out, is just really, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I really am stoked on that. But it's just chugging along. There's not anything major kind of in the works as of right now. But let's just wait until we get bored, and then you want to do something, and then something major happens.
Cool.
Right.
We got some pretty cool issues coming out
Yeah.
in the near future.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Dude, I just figured, I'd give you a chance to talk about your magazine, but that's cool. That's nice, short and sweet.
I love the selfless promotion and the shameless plugs and all, but at some point it's like,
Yeah.
there's
I
pretty
get it.
awesome stuff there, and I don't need to ram it down people's throats either.
Right,
So.
right. That's true. I used to write an article in there. It was pretty good, man. You guys should go back and get the old issues where I used to write in it. It's really good.
Those are what we call the good old days.
The good old days. Yeah,
Good
back
old
when
Good old
T-Squeegee.
days.
Listen, man, this is the issue. This is the problem with doing the Ask T-Squeegee is nobody asks me any fucking questions. That's the problem. The problem is nobody
you
asks
can't
me any
print those.
questions. What's that, Jers?
I said they do ask you questions. You just can't print those ones.
Right. It's just like, dude, come on, man. Like, if you want Ask T-Squeegee, ask questions, guys. I mean, I even set up an email for it. I think I got like 4 questions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The problem ends up being is that people like to consume content, but they don't necessarily want to contribute to it.
Yes.
So you say you have a channel of YouTube, right? They got 1 million subscribers, okay? Like Squeegee Life does.
Right.
You got 1 million subscribers, and you got 180 of them actually comment and
Right.
say stuff. The rest of them just want content. They just
Right.
want to be fed it. Here, check this out. Oh yeah, okay, watch
Right.
it. There's not anything fault on their own necessarily, but to have people be more involved than just absorbing the content's kind of hard.
Yeah, it is. It is extremely tough to do content for people, and then especially in videos, because I'll ask people that were like, "Hey, do this or do that," or if you have this or this or that or that, and nothing ever material. There he is. Well, what's going on, Jacob? What happened, bud? Everything okay, Jacob?
How's your poop?
The baby was screaming and crying.
Okay, there we
So
go.
I'm not-
I called her. I messaged you.
this-
I thought maybe something was up. So
Oh no, I left my phone down here.
if you need to bounce, you're allowed to. I'm never gonna be mad at you.
No,
for that.
he's fine. He's
Okay.
asleep now.
Okay.
We just need dad.
Yeah, Jacob and Seth got all kinds of babies to mess with now. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I brought them secretly on before the show once, and
Yeah.
Jacob's brought Otis on before.
Yeah. Which is
But
probably the best name in the history of names. I might
Otis
be
is pretty
biased,
sick.
but I think it's pretty rad. I thought he was joking
good
at
name.
first. I was like, "You're not." He's like, "Yes." I was like, "Dude,
He's
is
named after his my wife's grandfather.
we had a grandfather named Otis in our family as well. That's definitely an old school name that you do not hear anymore.
His middle name is Ford, and all his room is got his Ford stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
You gotta love it.
Named him after Mark.
I had a buddy that I met at camp, and he was like
Seth's
a
sons are
Chevy
already
guy as
door-to-door
much as I'm a
salesmen.
Ford guy, and he
They're
immediately.
they're wearing shirts.
Right?
But the guy's so into Chevys more than I'm into Fords, and of course there was always that back and forth conversation. And one day he posts on Facebook he got a new puppy, like a dachshund or something, and he's like, "Hey Mark, by the way, my dog's name is Chevy," and I'm like, "Well, at least you know he'll never leave the driveway."
That's funny. That's funny.
That's great.
Yeah, dude, yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it being like a consistent temperature every day instead of 40 degrees one day and then 90 the next and then like 33 the next day. And,
Right.
you know, because that's Ohio right now.
Just having
Ohio
leaves
sucks
when
right
you're
now.
driving and there's like leaves and you hear the like that.
Yes.
It's a whole mindset.
Yes.
It feels
I completely agree with that.
like we just started hitting like consistent weather. It's been like 70, 71 every day.
My weather's not
for
consistent
like 4 days. It's
whatsoever.
so nice.
It was
Me and Mark won't say
80,
anything.
82 or 83 degrees.
And Tim talking about me taking a poop.
Tuesday.
Now I feel like I got one.
Yeah,
coming on.
now you got one creeping on you. It was like
Salad,
82
baby's
yesterday, and then I woke up this morning and it was like 39 degrees. I'm like, you got to be shitting me
Yeah, it
right now,
sucked.
dude.
It sucked.
Like, what is
today.
this?
No,
Living
Tim,
on
if
a
I got a
lake.
Duke, I'll say I got to go Duke. I'm not leaving.
I gotta go, dude.
That's
It
from
just
Wisconsin to
the
North
tip
Carolina.
just
You wanna
doesn't
talk-
get up. Go, sorry. Sorry. go ahead.
Sorry, I was just saying from Wisconsin to North Carolina. You want to talk about the biggest like mental like thing to be
Culture
in
shock.
sunshine all the time now and leaves and like, dude, the first year was like being like euphoria all the time. That whole seasonal depression thing's real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have winters that are like 8 months long.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's, although it is beautiful there in the summertime, but it's just so short.
From the insides when it's 100% humidity and mosquitoes the size of your fist, you're like, well, it looks nice. I'm not going out there, but it looks nice.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I live in the frozen tundra / the Everglades. It just depends. You know what I mean? Because
The time of year.
we have the mosquito making machine like a quarter mile from the house.
You and Tim live in Ohio. I mean, what else can you say about Ohio?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of cool
It's gray.
things. It's a lot of cool things about Ohio, dude. You just don't know it. 'Cause you don't know.
I like Ohio.
You don't know how cool.
I
I don't know. I live in one of the greatest states in the USA.
What's
so
that?
it's okay. Florida.
That's,
You guys have reptiles
that's
everywhere,
a
dude.
stretch. That's
God's
a
waiting
stretch.
have a lot of
Good
reptiles.
about Florida.
That's a stretch. Florida's kind of. I mean, you live there. Mark lives there. That means it's gay.
Things can actually eat you in Florida, dude.
Yeah. And
You realize
not
that,
that there's
right?
anything wrong with you guys being gay. I'm just saying that it is that you guys are.
You stay in Ohio, Tim.
Florida's like the
And,
U.S.
and the real men like me and Mark will be in Florida.
Look, here's the thing. I can be at the beach in 15, 20 minutes.
Uh-huh.
I can be in the Everglades in less than an hour.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I can be in Orlando
Couldn't
in an
touch
hour
the
and a
bottom
half.
of either, but continue.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I don't want to go to either.
Not even.
And
on
I
your
got
tiptoes.
year-round window cleaning. That's
Yeah.
the thing for me is I would.
I got year-round
struggle
window
to be
cleaning.
in your state, TJ, because it's more seasonal. I know you clean windows year-round, but your revenue drops. I would have to be more disciplined because it never slows down here.
Yeah,
ever.
you'd have to buy less sports cars and stuff. I get it.
That's true. And that would
I'd have to
suck
buy
not
less
having
shit.
as many fucking tools, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm on the fence about. I really want to be a salesperson like Jersey. I don't want to clean windows anymore. I just want to quit and just sell things.
I want to build a house on a
So
mountain.
far, it's not working out too good. I'm hoping.
You know,
for-
at one point I wanted to do the same thing, but I realized it was never going to happen.
Hey,
I just don't want to do anything anymore. You know what I mean? Like I get up in the morning and I'm like Mark Tanner making memes in my truck, but I'm like at the edge of the bed and I sit there for like 20, 30 minutes and I'm like, fuck, I gotta go work. This sucks.
20, 30 minutes. Some of the best ones take me literally a red light, you know?
Well, you know.
I honestly know where Mark is based off of how many minutes. Oh, I'm like, it's Friday in the afternoon at like 11 to 1. I get 8,000 pictures of my kids breakdancing.
I thought for sure that after I did the Hulk Hogan, Randy the Macho Man Savage, and you laying on the gurney,
That was great.
I thought for sure. I was like, Seth's pissed. He didn't even say anything. He's mad about.
Oh no, I just know there was just so much to keep up with, and Fridays are like the end of the days,
Well,
like
Mark-
crazy, and I just kind of
Mark kept
Gave up.
dropping fucking gems, and I'm like, he's like the breakdancing kids. I'm like, well, I got to make a breakdance now. And then he posted him as Hulk Hogan and Macho Man. I was like, well, I got to get them fighting now. You know what I mean? I got to get them fighting over their dad now. This is going to be great.
Oh, we showed like everyone the video of them breakdancing.
Oh,
I was
did
like,
you?
"You're gonna see this." They're like, "Who are those guys in that?" I'm like, "Oh, they're just some dudes I know. They're pretty
Just
cool."
just some fucking weird
There's some
dudes.
dudes I know.
I still think my favorite one was when we made them Jehovah's knocking on people's doors.
Showed
It was pretty
the
good.
Macho Man Hulk Hogan one to my wife. She thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, that one was pretty. I like the one where they made your son like 8 sizes bigger than like holding them, and your son's just like huge in the
Like
background.
Jacob's son
Pretty
Otis
funny.
is like a giant baby, and Seth's babies are really tiny. It's fucking Marcus.
Yeah.
So
I
was
didn't
pretty
mean
funny.
it to like he's big. I meant it for them to sit together on the couch.
It was just it was funny.
I know,
There was
Mark.
only-
I knew you'd never make fun of children.
I don't.
yeah, just that
Never.
In
grandpa's.
Nashville, there was 2 like life-changing moments, and one was when Frank Rave's lips were touching my cheek as
Oh.
he's telling me he's the greatest window cleaner ever and drunk.
Do it, Mark.
And then the second was when Mark was like, "Hey, look at this! This is that app I do all the things on. Look at all the heads I have of you." And it was literally 100 of my faces like making
Well,
weird things.
You know what it is, Jersey? You're very animated when you speak, so I watch your videos not
Probably great.
because and like I'll just screenshot, and I get one with your mouth is half open. That's a good one.
Well, you're
Sometimes
lucky
I
I
see
didn't
this
say,
stuff
"Hey,
and
look
like,
at all
when
these
did I ever
clips
He's
do
I
giving
have
us
of you."
secrets.
Yeah.
Window cleaner of the year. Yeah.
Jersey, this is what I'm gonna overlay someone else's voice onto yours.
Right.
He literally sat on a couch, farting, just laughing,
On-
making memes. The
on
second he
Tim's
got
pillow.
into the Airbnb, he just sat on.
You know,
Tim's pillow,
you're never gonna
farting.
let that go.
It was, dude.
Yeah,
he
that
was,
was the best
shitting
thing.
on Tim's bedding.
Well,
He was literally-
look at it this way. It wasn't
Bro.
mine, so I don't
Oh,
care.
okay, that's true. True.
Bro, thanks,
And
Jacob.
then me and Mark were sharing a room, and he'd be like, "What do you want to watch?" I'm like, "I don't know." And he's like, "What about Trailer Park Boys?" And he sat there in his shirt, going, staring at his phone.
All I
making
know is
memes,
none of
that-
dying laughing at like 1 a.m. in the morning. I was just like, all right,
We all
that's
kept
pretty
our
great.
promise of not fucking with each other while we slept.
Yes.
That's
That
the
was
only
fair.
thing I was happy.
That was
about.
good. Yeah.
It was very good and respectful. It was a fun time.
Yeah, but poor Tim had to go to the convention with pink eye.
Yes,
I know.
that was a real
Yeah.
Well,
possibility.
I mean, he walked around squinty-eyed the whole time
Bro.
anyway, so you can tell.
Dude, like he was lounging, and Mark's short, obviously, so it was like a big baby lounging on my pillow and blankets, and
It looked like
Laughing,
when a pug gets
laughing.
stuck on a couch.
I
and, like,
can't,
get off
Jersey.
his
I
bed.
can't explain to you the level of comfort Mark was experiencing with us. Like everyone else is kind of like
I'm glad he was comfortable.
everyone else was kind of like sitting in their respective chairs and shit, and Mark was sprawled, spread eagle on the couch, like one leg up on the back of the couch, one leg on a footstool. His balls are all the way out. And I'm just like, dude,
What
what
are
is
you talking
going
about?
on?
My balls are out.
They
You're
were
the
out,
one with the
dude.
ball
touching my
problem.
pillow.
They were full. They were full breathing right there, dude. They had all
He
the
could-
flow.
Airing them
He could
out.
hardcore relax. He's the
Bro.
guy that has the chair that's his and nobody sits in,
Right.
and when he reclines it, he goes, "Ugh," and it makes that noise every single time. I'll guarantee it.
You know it. Get out of my chair.
That reminds me of my grandfather. Used to tell, like, my grandma would be sitting there talking to him and shit, and I'd be sitting in the chair across from him, and my grandma would be like behind us. I'd be sitting here. This was when I was younger. My grandfather would be sitting over here in his recliner, and he would watch TV with one eye closed. So when she looked at him, she thought he was sleeping, but he wasn't sleeping. So she'd sit there, Dad, because she used to call him Dad, not Lowell. She called him Dad, which, and he called her Mom, which is, whatever. Jennifer started calling me Dad the other day, which was really strange. But he was like, I was like, and my grandma got up and walked out of the room, and I asked my grandpa, I was like, why you got one eye closed? He goes, that way she thinks I'm sleeping. She'll ask me to do something. She just thinks I'm sleeping. He was a trip, man.
Well, I watch TV if I'm with one eye closed anyway,
Oh, do you?
just because. Yeah, I don't know why. I always have. I always close an eye and I'm sitting there watching TV.
Sounds like a vision.
I've gotten to the point if I sit in the wrong position, I'm snoring awake, and I'm like, "Oh God, I'm getting old." It's like,
Does anyone else all right? Well, let's talk about our wives for a second. Does anyone else have a wife that has never watched a movie all the way through?
Okay. Sleeping?
It's close.
Yeah.
It's
Jennifer
close.
cannot watch a movie to say. I've watched, that movie Long Legs with Nicolas Cage, and it's terrible.
It's a great movie.
No, it's terrible.
I like that movie.
It was awful. Jennifer, I've literally watched that through 4 times through, and Jennifer's not seen it all the way through 1 time.
Sounds right.
Really?
Yeah, Leah's out by 9, dude. So like, you just put something on, and then I just wait until she goes out, and then I just grab the remote and watch whatever.
Yeah.
My favorite thing is if you just pick something real quick, they'll fall asleep. You spend an hour picking something out, and then it's like the second it's picked out, they're like asleep.
Jennifer doesn't get past the dun dun on Netflix, and she's
It's like a reverse alarm clock. Just
Yeah.
puts her to sleep.
yeah. It's she's mesmerized by it. Goes
Well,
right
if it makes
to
you
sleep.
feel better, this is like a room attached to my bedroom, and my wife has been sleeping for like an hour already. So.
It's fair. My wife actually came down here and was like, looked at me, and I'm like, "What?" She's like, "I need you to open my sorbet. I can't get this open." And so I went up and did that. And then I'm like, "Why does the house smell so good?" I go upstairs. She's just in the kitchen, like, I'm making cookies. I was like, "Oh hell yeah!" I'm like, this is gonna be a great night.
Oh, cookies sounds.
It's gonna be a
so
great
good.
night.
Let's talk about
I'm gonna go
things.
crush
Let's talk
some
about stuff I
cookies.
can't eat. Let's do that.
Sorry, man. I'm sorry, dude. Well,
Like
look,
hot
the payoff
chocolate
is
chip
worth it.
cookies. How about warm bread? How about that?
oh, homemade warm bread.
How about a Texas Roadhouse roll with honey butter on it? How about that? Let's talk about that.
Do you know what the thing is though? The second, like, within 5 minutes of eating that roll, I feel the worst I've ever felt.
Terrible. Well, I already told you I had I had
Get some
like
chili, though.
I had three pieces of pizza today, and the bread. I just can't do bread for whatever reason. Not doing the bread, and then like, hey, I'm gonna do some bread. I can't. It's not a thing. I'm gonna have
your
to
body
ease
goes
my
into
way into
bloated
that.
and shit.
Insane.
I
here's
feel
the trick.
terrible.
I do 1 week a year. I take off, and then I can eat whatever I want, and it doesn't mess my stomach at all. And I go right back to it. That's what you have to do. You can't go on and then off and then on and then off because your body never gets adjusted.
Right.
You got to do like
That makes sense.
289 to 263, Damien, is where I'm at today. So,
What's your goal?
not to be fat. I wanted to get to 200, but everyone that I've said I want to get to 200 looked at me like I'm talking crazy. Like that's too much weight to lose.
That's not even the thing though. People look sick when they don't have muscle mass then. But if you lose weight and also kind of bulk up, people don't think you.
Dude, I'm
if you
already,
ever see
dude,
somebody
I'm
like,
already
"You lost so much weight,
fucking
you look like you
massive,
have
brother.
cancer."
I'm already there's Hulk Hogan underneath here.
something.
You know what I mean?
Dude. Your legs
Just
are
hiding.
jacked. Your calves are probably ripped.
I'm getting
'cause
to
you're
the
carrying
point now
yourself
where I'm
around.
gonna have to wash all these t-shirts and dry them and like
You
wash
better
them
let
in
him
hot
out
water.
because you're fucking strangling the dude.
Dude, I'm fucking about to be
Man, it's
swole
as soon
up.
as Chiche loses all that weight, the intro music to the Squeegee Laugh podcast is going to be when it comes crashing down and it hurts inside.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna happen. Jacob,
And he's
hit it.
finally going to grow a mustache.
Yeah, no,
Maybe.
I can't. Well, I can, but I don't
maybe.
like the way that it feels.
I don't like getting food in
And
it.
it sucks.
like-
It itch. I can grow
You don't
one.
feel like you
I
don't
could
feel
do
like
the
feeling
Seth.
like a
I
man?
could do the Seth, and I could connect it and everything, but it itches so bad I can't handle it. I don't
Listen,
think
if
Jennifer
God gives
likes
you a
it either.
Tom Selleck mustache, you kind of have to roll with it.
I think it
You know what
rubs.
I'm saying?
I
If
think
he
it rubs
puts
Jennifer
this
the wrong
bird
way.
on your lips. Yeah. Oh. Sick dad joke, dude.
Sick dad joke, brother.
Hell yeah, dude.
I'm the best.
Let me tell you something.
That Warrior Pro dude lost a bunch of weight but looks sick. Who's Warrior Pro?
He's on
Tyler
TikTok.
Smith.
That's
Who?
when you lose too much weight, but then you like don't do anything else. You just lose weight. That's when you're like, dude,
Hey, he
look, you
goes
have
to the
AIDS,
gym and
man.
stuff. I talked to him. He's got a whole nother TikTok
I know
account
this is
too.
gonna, yeah,
about him.
I know this is gonna sound super crazy, but I naturally put on muscle mass very easily. Like I can work out for like a month and my fucking arms will swell 2 inches. Like I'm not just saying, I'm being serious. I just wish I could get the chest definition. My chest does not do that, but my legs and my fucking arms and my back will blow up. But like my chest, I can't. I lived on the incline bench, and I just, for whatever reason, it just ain't happening. You know what I mean? Yeah. It just ain't happening. So yeah.
I just want to be comfortable enough to be able to take my shirt off like Mark. That's what I want to,
dude.
That's my goal. Like in public, take my shirt off. I've never done that. I want to do that. That's like my goal someday.
There was a long time there. I had never had a shirt on.
His name is Tyler Smith.
Oh, okay.
Tyler
Smith. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I know Tyler. You know what? I'll be honest with you. I didn't even. I'm paid so much attention that I didn't even realize he lost a bunch of weight.
Yeah, he lost close to 100 pounds.
Wow. Is he on Ozempi's?
No, he's just, from what I understand, just diet and exercise.
Nice.
It's taken him over like a year.
Nice.
Nothing wrong with that, dude. If it comes off too fast, you're gonna put it back in there.
Right.
No doubt.
Right. Well, my goals aren't necessarily to be Mr. Olympia. That's not what I'm looking to do. I just want to be healthier. That's it. I just want to be around a little longer.
Hey,
for Jennifer
less,
and the kids. The inflammation is gone essentially. I don't have the inflammation that I had anymore. There's that, and I just longevity wise, I don't want to, like, my mother and my father both were diabetics, and once they lost weight, they stopped being diabetics. So I don't want that same thing to happen to me. You know what I mean? My Uncle Mike had kidney issues and passed away due to diabetes. You know what I mean? So I kind of like, I have kidney issues, and I'm just trying to get ahead of the curve is all. You know what I mean? So, without getting too inside of baseball there, I need to make some changes. So I'm not for any other reason other than that. And, going to New Jersey and doing those Zero ads and seeing my giant gelatinous self on camera, and like, it's one thing to shoot videos of yourself and post them on YouTube, then, you know what I mean? Because it's kind of first person, but to have someone else shoot video of you, you're like, God damn.
You didn't even try to get my good side.
Yeah, dude. Like, you guys did not do me any fucking favors. Could you have shot me a little further back?
Yeah.
I'll tell you a funny story.
Shoulders and up.
Yeah.
So me and Steve did a video about high-rise training. This is like years ago or whatever. I edited it, put it all together, and posted it. And I didn't put frames in there that were pretty bad. Like, there's certain times you catch somebody in the wrong position. You're like, yeah, I'm not going to put that in there.
Right.
But I thought it was good and whatever. And he's like, dude, my belly button is huge. And I'm like, what does that mean? Well, like, the wind was blowing and you could see his, like, it didn't look bad. But for him, he was like, and he got back into jiu-jitsu right after that video.
Right.
Like, started working out, lost like 25 pounds right after that. I'm like, see?
Yeah, and being around, being at the Zero warehouse, a little tiny fucker like Sean, you know what I mean? It's just like, dude, you know what I mean? Like, what am I doing here? He showed up and he had his sister's pants on, he had pink shoes on, like he had literally, he had yoga pants on. I mean, I love Sean. Sean's great. I love me some Sean, but he had his sister's pants on. You know what I mean? So I was a little defensive. Anytime that he was around me, like trying to look at something, like I'd ask him if he wanted me to pick me up. Hey man, do you want me to pick you up? Hey Sean, do you want to sit on my shoulders? You know what I mean? Hey Sean, can you reach that? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Defense mechanism. You know what I mean? But yeah. So
that's what you normally do with Mark?
Yes, all the time.
And Mike.
And Mike. Yes.
Who?
Mike. Micro Mike.
Oh,
Miniature
that
Mike.
guy.
Miniature Mike 9000.
See, my goal in my health journey is just so that I can someday be as old as Mark. Like, that's it. Change. I'm not.
I hate to tell you this, when you get there, it's a downhill slide, my friend.
Why does my everything hurt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I've been fortunate lately that not everything hurts anymore.
Well, I'm going to tell you this, man. The not eating a shitload of bread and pasta, like I don't have the aches and pains anymore, dude. Like, literally.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I thought Jersey was just full of shit. You know what I mean? I think he just liked looking like Astro Boy. But I was like, what could this you know, but
Fair, it's fair.
he's
I didn't particularly expect it. I was like,
he's
grown up
legit. He
Jimmy
was
Neutron.
actually right about it. It was like what he said was the truth. You know what I mean?
Dude,
and
I have,
what you said about the
in my,
diet, what you said about the diet, everything you said about that was the truth. So Jersey's like actually tells the truth, and he's actually a nice guy, believe it or not. I don't
Contrary
know if
to
you guys
popular
yeah,
belief.
if you guys didn't know that, Jersey's actually a really good dude.
Have you ever seen my fat pictures from like way before, like 10 years ago before I moved?
Yeah, I've seen some of your pictures. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say
I
fat
haven't.
pictures, but
Dude, I was almost 300 pounds.
well, I was almost
Really?
300 pounds. So what are you saying? I was
really?
fucking fat? Whatever,
That's what
Jersey.
it sounds like.
Yeah, but Jersey's taller than you, right?
Right?
Jersey's taller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's, what are you, like 6'5"?
No, I'm like 6'2".
Last time I seen you, you looked pretty tall to me.
Yeah.
And I'm 5'11".
That's
Dude,
cheap.
they
I think
all
my
look
most
tall.
memorable thing at meeting Jersey the first time, he gave me a hug that was very sincere, but at the same time, it fucking hurt.
Right.
And I'm like, this guy wants to break me here. Like, I feel my
Well, that's
ribs
how I
just-
met him. That's
Yeah,
how I
it's
met
like-
him. I was sitting in the lobby of the huge
Screwed up.
convention, and Jersey come up behind me and started massaging me. And I turned around, I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, hey, what's up, man? I'm like, oh, hey.
That's not
I
good.
was
We ruined
not-
our friendship.
Yeah,
for
I
a little
was.
massage.
Yeah, I was not expecting him to be 900 feet tall.
Y'all got it better than I did. I came
Yeah.
up and tried to give him a hug, and he just looked at me like, why the fuck are you touching me?
That was one of those
Hey.
'cause when you see a bunch of people, like you think they're just running, like, oh hey, I know you, and then you get somebody hugging you, you're like, wait, what? Oh, okay. Oh,
Well,
okay.
that threw
I
me
see.
off when the first time I met Chris. My very first interaction with Chris was a hug.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
I
when
can't say
Just like
what
me.
Chris said to me when I first met him.
when he gave me a hug, Luke and Rihanna were like, Chris
Leave
just
me
gave you a
alone.
hug. I thought he was like, they were like, he's like the don't touch me guy. I was like, well, I'm special. You know what I mean? We have a special relationship. You know what I mean?
I don't know what it is about videos, but everybody that I meet, like if they don't
Give it to me harder,
recognize
big
me
boy.
from something or they'll talk about it, they're like, I didn't know you were tall. So apparently all my camera shots are that I'm supposed to be
Well,
short.
it's
Give it to me hard.
like I figured you were around 6 feet, but then like I'm 6 feet.
Seth, are you eating cookies?
Then I met you and I'm like, you're like
Yeah, he's
legit.
eating something.
Like,
Seth, are
3
you
or 4
fucking
inches taller
eating
than me.
cookies right now?
Yeah, she brought me down some homemade cookies.
Right?
Ah, man, dude. Didn't you
Good.
tell your wife about my fitness journey? Like, you fucking piece of shit. Seth's like, my fitness, I'm trying to fit in this cookie in my mouth.
I'm trying to get fit.
Whatever. I worked outside today. I can have a cookie.
I worked outside today. That's good. Yeah, dude. It was nice meeting you too, Damien. Damien's upset that that Jello Glass LLC was on the podcast and before him. And I just want to make this public.
Well, he
state-
was on the private podcast. He wasn't.
Yeah.
He wasn't on. Yeah, he wasn't on. He was on the you got to pay us money to watch it show, not the free show, Damien.
I almost, I know we were all kind of against bringing him on, but after what you've said, I
no,
almost would like
no.
to. No.
Nope.
Okay.
He's got a very bad internet connection, and his kids are running around like crazy.
And
Yeah.
listen, they gotta pay the $2.
They got to pay the $2.
You
Right?
know, they gotta pay the
Gotta pay it.
$2.
Even Chris Lamborghini has got to pay the $2. You got to pay you got to pay the toll, man. You got to pay the toll.
piper.
It's
So
like a
how
single
long
wide,
is
right?
how long is the interview?
Like an hour and a half.
Really?
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
guys had dialogue with that dude for an hour and a half?
About an
Yes.
hour 15.
That's good.
$2 is more than he makes in that hour and 15 usually when
Right.
he's cleaning windows, so that's pretty good.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. I tried to give him some solid advice, to be honest with you. I told him, I was like,
And he's using
maybe you ought to, maybe you ought to focus less. No, he's not. He's posting more.
Maybe you shouldn't do TikTok trying to get work doing that.
Well, that's what he was trying to do. He's like, I'm trying to be Jello Glass in my local groups, and they keep kicking me out. And I'm like, you're interacting with people the same way that you do in pro window cleaning, and that's nice if you want social media attention. But if you want work, people are not going to dig that, dude, at all.
I hope he put that. I hope he put that.
That's just end it right there. I like wieners.
You need to do a little bit of foreplay to get in hardcore
Mm-hmm.
too. You can't just jump right into,
I
Ease it in.
yeah, just
That's what he tries to do, though. He jumps in and he's like, "I'm gonna be this," and then in the pro window cleaning, there's Chris, and Chris is like, "No, keep him in. This guy's hilarious."
Right.
Yeah.
Going to a real group, and they're like, "What is this guy?
Yeah.
He's obviously trolling, man."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you try to. I tried to be. We tried to give him advice, but I did encourage him a little bit to like. I mean, I'm not saying don't do what you do. I mean, clearly it's working for you. You got Chris to make Jello fucking stickers. I mean,
I actually they're gelatin because he told us he needed a royalty fee, so he made gelatin
He's
Jell-O.
serious when he
he's
says
dead.
that.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's serious when he says
Yeah.
that.
That's
Yeah.
why they're
You know,
gelatin stickers and not Jello
Yeah.
stickers because. But you remember there was a guy in the group. He was missing some teeth, and he was oh man, now I forget his name.
That
Hanks.
meth.
Yes.
Benjamin Hanks.
Ben
Yes,
Hanks.
there you go.
Oh, that guy.
That
ruled.
guy was genuinely. You know, some people are like, "Oh, this guy's really a no." He was just sadly missing some chromosomes or something. Like he was
He's
just
still.
not there.
He follows
I am
the Squeegee Life on. Follows the Squeegee Life page on Facebook and comments occasionally.
He still comments to Mark Zuckerberg about how he's going to fix Facebook and he knows how to hack Facebook. He still does that, like
listen,
random posts.
I'm
He'll
on-
be like, "Good try, Zuck."
Yeah, that
I'm on
dude
that dude.
definitely
I'm
was-
on that dude's will kill list whenever he sees me. I can promise you that. That
Yeah.
dude hates me
He
Yeah, you
definitely
used to
lives
fuck with him a
underneath
bunch.
power lines. Yeah.
hard. I
Yeah,
fuck
he's
him
one of those
hard.
guys on Facebook who like writes like, "I do not authorize Facebook."
Shut
to
up.
use
That's
this."
my dad. That's my dad.
Yeah.
That's my
Copy
dad.
and paste. Yeah.
That's literally my fucking dad, dude. So fucking embarrassing.
Except my friend request if requested. I am.
But that's
fed
that's
hack.
every dad, man. Every
My-
dad watches
my
like Fox
dad-
and Friends, gets their
Yeah.
brain altered by like a commemorative gold coin.
My dad, my fucking cousin down in Atlanta, she does it. My aunt Tammy does it. I'm like, dude, what are you? No, listen. What are you guys doing, man? What are you guys doing?
The second you went on Facebook, it's now property of
Right.
everybody who's on
Right.
Facebook.
We're 819, the opinionated
That's how
one
that works.
out here. Anybody got a copy? That is the smoothest pole I've ever felt going in and out.
I love that guy. I wish he didn't block me.
Yeah, dude, he hates us.
He
I
was
wish
so
he was
much
still
fun.
making
Pants
stuff.
once. You know, my stinker didn't work. I don't know.
Oh, Perry, I got Perry so good on Instagram yesterday. So, like,
Okay,
the day before he posted a video, posted some screenshots of the Zero light brush. By the way, today's the last day you can get one of those free with a purchase of a water-fed pole or a complete package. But anyways,
And they double in price tomorrow.
they double in
so.
price tomorrow. So if you're not buying one, you're fucking up. But
Get
anyways,
one. They're good.
they're great. He posted this like story about how the only way that the Zero Brush can be cool is if you add his swivel to it. So, you know, yada, yada, yada. It had been up for like 12 hours. Nobody liked it or commented on it. So I was like, here, I'll comment so nobody else gives a shit. Yeah.
So one of the things is that we had Perry's probably watching now. It's just great. But one of the things we talked about is that, you know, the problem with him and him being just irrelevant in all situations of just not being anybody could care about, like that product, by us even acknowledging it, where we were like stirring the pot, kind of getting some, you know, it was like giving him more fuel than he's had ever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like at this point, it's like, you know what? Instead, let's just go back to never saying anything about him and never mentioning
Right.
him, and he'll just fizzle out.
Well, that was
Right,
the
well, just
metric.
remember-
That was the metric that I discovered, Jersey. When all of the stuff with the brush went down, I actually, I did a couple of
Open my
videos
design.
shitting on him, and I then I was going like he unblocked me from all the social media. Like he's
See what you're doing.
had
he
me
wanted to see what
blocked
you're
for
doing.
years.
Yeah.
And I go and I start looking at his shit, and I'm like, going through it, and there's like no interaction. Then I drop my video, and then boom, here's Perry with all this interaction. And I told Chris, I was like, all I'm doing is giving this dude air to breathe.
Yep.
And
Well,
he
just remember,
took it, which is great on his part.
Yeah, he's smart.
just
he
like
is
with
smart.
kids, bad attention is better than
Yeah.
no attention.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yep.
So
Which is fine. Like, the reason that he was upset in general, by the way, he doesn't own the design of the brush. He didn't design the brush. None of that
No.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
We all will know the real stories, and he's whatever. But one of the reasons that he's so upset is that up until that point, that style brush has not been used in water-fed. He was the only one, and it was the only product he had that was halfway decent. So then the only thing that makes him money is now all of a sudden somebody else has it, and he just could see his whole empire of
What I like is he gets on the internet and he's like, well, this is wrong, this is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is how you improve it. Like, what are you, a fucking idiot? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
thanks for your kind words of improving.
Yeah, you dumbass.
He sold more brushes in the first launch of that than he probably has in like the past.
That's probably fair because
no, but he sells like safety vests and cones. And
his
dumb shit.
His prices are they're exorbitant. They're high prices. I mean, even when the Zero Light brush goes to double its price, it's still going to be cheaper than Perry's version by quite a bit. So I mean, and not just a little bit, not like by a penny, by like a lot. So yeah.
Well, the thing is with his stuff, all of it for the most part, if you ever notice, they know it's gonna fall apart because you get a complete repair kit. You get 49 screwdrivers, 38 pairs of pliers. But wait, there's more, and we're gonna package everything in a special little.
If you go to my YouTube channel right now and find the Perry videos, they're in the funny section playlist there. If you watch him selling the computer software and like his whole like used computers with the software, and then you also get a printer, he does the same exact spiel.
Yeah.
With selling water-fed equipment, you know what I mean? Get the fucking turbo package 9 million with the fucking all the things.
Yeah.
The
Well, that's
brush,
what he is. He's
the
an
brush
infomercial
holster,
man.
the brush holster 9000.
Yeah.
Well, you want to have your brush right on your side by this pouch.
We discussed this, okay? CJ, you've been cleaning windows a hell of a long time like me. Have you ever needed to put a brush on a belt and bring it with you? Absolutely.
Never.
Oh, that's what you have the pole for.
Yeah.
That's why you have the pole.
I mean,
Attached to the fucking pole.
Well, how about that water-fed scraper thing he's got going on now? Water jets on a scraper, and you can safely scrape glass with
Hey, listen,
pure water.
I hope Chris makes it.
Are
I
you
want
kidding
one.
me?
I hope Chris makes one. I hope Chris makes one just like it. I want it.
Some innovation, you can tell that the person doesn't clean windows or ever clean windows.
That's
true. The problem is the real problem with Reach It in general is I really like Harry.
Yeah, that is the biggest problem because I also like Harrison.
Harry is a good kid.
A genuinely good, awesome dude.
I genuinely do like Harrison as well. My interactions with him, the times that I've been around him, he's been very nice. His father's just unbearable. And I said that in my video when I addressed all this. It's just like, dude, just go away and let Harrison make something of that because you're just fucking him over because you're a dipshit.
He's trying. He could really do that if they just. The problem is though, you got kin. Like there's a blood tie that
of course
you know what's best for business, but what do you pick, business or your family? Like
right.
if you're that guy who kicks your family to the curb,
you're definitely
business,
gonna pick your family. You know what I mean? I would pick my family.
He's in a tough spot.
Yeah, he is in a tough spot.
I'll tell you though, as somebody who is maybe a competition, if you would consider that, if Perry passes away, I think that company could do something.
Yeah.
I think that they could separate, because Harrison's trying so hard to separate the old adage of what Reach It was and the joke that Reach It is with like the new stuff and kind of changing even the logo a little and changing like this and the brushes. I think at one point weren't even Reach It. They're like another thing. Like I see that's slowly trying to kind of pull away and, separate it. But I just think he's in a bind.
I hope that my hope is that, and I don't want this to sound disparaging towards this gentleman I'm about to mention, but I would hope that it doesn't turn into a simple situation where you've just buried your.
I think the damage is too far gone,
and
just
stepped on your
dick
so
for myself.
much.
And I made mention of this to many of you guys at the Huge. I don't believe for 1 minute, not 1 minute, that he's now the figurehead of that company. Maybe not on paper, maybe for a display. They're trying to do damage control. Okay, I don't believe it for a minute because if you here's what size. I didn't look at everything, but when Zero came out with the brush, who was the one up there talking about it? Not Harrison, right? It was Miss Perry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
But that also, I think, refueled a bunch of his like hatred that he's had. This like weird thing that's going on, you know. So
Yeah.
but he also, I think, in the advertiser of him saw, hey, here's my opportunity to jump in and do this thing, and now people will watch it because they want to see what my response. That's why every video that was done by anybody on our side, there was a response video. It's because people would watch that and then find his response, and then it was just creating this like he wrote it for a while. I mean, good
Well,
on him.
I gotta
He
be
knew what he
honest
was
with you.
doing.
I mean, he thinks that he's a salesman, and he is not.
No.
He is not
No.
good at it. He comes off as pompous.
He's
and
like the guy
arrogant
that did
and-
the Sham Wow commercials.
Yes, and
Yeah.
like it's a
Yeah.
fucking straight up gimmick.
As a salesman, I'll tell you, the best salesman in the world on anything, no matter what they're selling, is literally just somebody who can tell you the answers to your questions. That's
Right.
it. But for somebody to go on over the top and go, there's this and this is great, and we're the one, and like go, no, this is wrong. Like these people came up with a brush and they told you, you even paid them for one hot minute and then decided you don't have to pay them anymore, like all the other things you've stolen from people.
Mm-hmm.
Like we know these are facts, and you go back on this. No, I invented it.
Right.
No, we know that. And you're still going to double down because you said a thing, and now all of a
Yeah.
sudden it's like, oh, I don't trust anything you say. Now
Right.
you're the shady car salesman who's not really trying to help anybody. You're just trying to sell something,
Right.
and that's shady. That's
Yeah.
where sales gets a bad name.
Well, you know, the dude that I knew that his goose was cooked when I seen Eric Gilliland openly talking about how, hey man, you know what I mean? Like, this is not the way all this happened. You know, I knew then. I was like, well, he's kind of shot himself in the foot now, because that dude would never in a million years say anything about any of that stuff. So he
But
must have
there's-
really
there's-
done him dirty.
there's not a post that Reach It will put up within the first 3 comments. Someone's dragging him under.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
1 or 2 people. The first 2 might be, oh my god, that's so innovative, that's so cool, and then boom, the shitstorm happens, and then it just multiplies over and over and over.
So I went to a convention in 2018 down in Orlando, and that's when like the Gunslinger launched and the new polls.
That's when I
that
met you,
launched. Yeah. So, but he would literally held court in the bar and told everybody how he's going to be the Steve Jobs of window cleaning. That's how he sees himself. That's why everything is, you know what I mean? It's not really improved.
The
It's just
unboxing
still-
experience.
The
yeah.
innovator.
Yeah, all that
Steve
bullshit.
Jobs,
it was
man.
all that.
Steve Jobs wore clean pants. Like, give me a fucking break.
Right.
He literally wore
Dude,
the
he was
same
just-
pair of pants for like 3 days.
I love when it goes
Fuck-
down that rabbit hole.
They listen.
Yeah.
They
Steve
like
Jobs
he literally
would
had
open a
the.
store and expect you to freaking
He went
put
to
everything
bed.
together for
Yeah,
him.
well, he went to bed and the pants stood in the corner and watched him sleep. Like they were a
Right,
living
right,
organism.
Right.
They had
That
pee
was about
stains
the time
on
the sphincter
him.
broke.
They had like
Yeah.
pee dribble stains on the on the leg. He had like a little like brown like a dark spot on the ass. It may have been booty sweat. I'm not exactly sure. They were dirty. He smelled. You know, it's like take a shower. He
And-
drank.
and-
He
I
drank
think the
all of.
highlight-
He drank all of fucking Josh and Jason and Seth's beer. Like it was really crazy, man.
No, and
Weird.
then they roll this smoker out. Remember that? Keith? And they pull out this 15
Casper's
brisket.
like, yeah. Casper's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna cook this brisket. Mark's like, when are we eating tomorrow?
yeah, I go, that shit ain't. And then behind the store, about 40 donks, right? They call that donks. Caprice Classics with 30-inch wheels come pulling up, taking all his shit.
Took
He
all
almost
the
got
food. Like it was crazy.
They almost beat the brakes off of him.
Oh, he almost got beat up in there by Indira's boyfriend or husband or whatever. It was fucking crazy, dude. Like they literally rolled up in the big wheel donks and shit, and like all these kids are running around, and I'm like, what in the fuck is
Who
going
the fuck are
on?
these people?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It was
Crazy.
unbelievable.
In a super nice plaza.
Oh, it was not a
Very
super
nice.
nice plaza at all. Like
Yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah, it was like the coolest thing about that plaza was the bar.
And we got patted down. Remember,
Yeah,
I've never been
that
to
was
a bar where
crazy.
you get patted down walking into the door.
That's pretty good.
Probably
You live in
shouldn't be going to
Florida.
that.
Josh
bar.
Schoaf, Josh Schoaf was the first one to walk in, and they patted him down. He looked
Yeah.
back at us. He goes, "This is my kind of place."
Yeah, I looked around. I go, I'm gonna hide behind Josh the entire
Right.
time because we're not getting out of here alive.
Josh is a fucking gigantic fucking guy.
Behemoth.
Jeez, he's
Yeah.
a big ass fucking dude.
He's a big guy.
The Big Show. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, that
Did
was
you
a
see
good
him?
time.
Like, is he
What's-
doing it? Have you guys hung out at all, or is he? 'cause
Josh,
I haven't seen too much
Josh
from
is
him.
yeah,
He's
that's
busy,
an,
man.
he's an enigma wrapped in a riddle. I've tried to get him to come on the show like 3 times. He stood us up like every single time. So it's just like I'm
He's
not
just
even
a
trying
busy
anymore.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got no ill will.
He's
I love
always
Josh.
fun.
If Josh needed me, I would and called me, I would be there in a minute. So, I mean, I love me some Josh, but there's no point in even trying. You know what I mean? Like, there's no point in trying. You know, but it is what it is. He's a good dude. He's fucking super busy, man. So,
Yeah, that's life in general too. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can't step in that, you know.
right.
But
He's always expanding, and he's expanding again, you know. And then kids got hockey, and you know, and the kids got this, and so he's always doing something.
yeah,
Well, dudes, like it's like we've done 2 hours. Can you believe it? Yeah, I can't. But Jersey,
flies, man.
I'm glad that you're well. Thank you for helping me on my journey. I know I'm going to continue to reach out to you with questions about it. Not only the sales, but making my 6-pack a 12-pack. You know, all of the things. Reach out to Jersey if you want to buy stuff from windowcleaner.com. You know what I mean? Just hit him up. He doesn't get a lot of sales.
You can buy them from me, but you're buying 0 stuff from TJ.
Yeah, that's really nice of you, Jersey.
Just saying.
We'll be back next week. I don't know. I mean, maybe it'll just be the 4 of us. Maybe it won't. I don't know. Maybe we'll have a guest. Maybe we won't have a guest. I don't know. It's always strange what we got going on here on the Squeegee Live podcast. Someday I just called Jersey today or texted him today. I was like, man, you should come on the show. When are you coming on? And he's like, it doesn't matter. I'm like, well, is tonight too short a notice? He's like, nope, I'll be there. So, you know, not everyone's that cool.
Heck yeah.
Thank you,
Yes.
Jersey,
Yeah,
for coming on.
I didn't know
with
he
us.
was going to be on till we.
I wanted to kind of.
Until I got on
like,
Zoom and he was here.
Yeah, I like doing surprise stuff.
I accidentally forgot I had a doctor's appointment too. So like I was cooking dinner at 5:30. I had that until 7, and then at 7:30 we started talking. So I haven't even sat down yet from after being like at work and stuff. So.
Yeah, I you know, it's not so much the interview as like having people on for the interview as it is like the vibe. You know what I mean? Just like having another person to like as a soundboard for questions or just to ask their own questions. Like you're really good at that because well you do what we do, so you get it.
Yeah.
So you know what to say and you know what the right things to get to move a conversation forward. It's nice, you know what I mean? And then there's
If we were sitting at a bar, we'd be talking the same as we are right now.
the same way. Yeah. And that's the truth. I mean,
Yeah.
if you hung out with us at the huge convention, you know this is what we were doing the whole time. We were dick jokes. I mean, they were probably a little more, the dick and fart jokes, they're probably a little more vulgar than what you're hearing here. You know, Seth was running around telling people he's going to pinch their dick skin, which was super rude. You know, but, you know, we're...
Not telling people, told one person. And
No, you literally you threatened every single one of us to have our dick skin
It almost got
pinched.
to a point where I thought it was truly going to happen.
that was the goal.
Yeah,
That
Mark's
was
like,
the
I
goal.
think if I go to sleep, my dick skin might get pinched. I don't know.
Yeah.
Seth
I'm
has
going
that
to wake
look in
up a
his eye.
twisted mess.
Hey, he's not going to Nashville this year. He even said so. So you
I
guys,
know.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
have
a
to hook this
huge.
shit.
That's a huge bummer,
Skin
man.
free.
I know, man. I know.
Seth, for whatever reason, decided to be a fucking dad. Like, what a dick. Like, what are you gonna be? Like a responsible
Selfish
father? Like,
bastard.
what the fuck, dude?
I
Right.
know, man. It's ruining my whole vibe.
Yeah, dude. I thought for sure you'd be a deadbeat. Can't you just tell Christine you're going to get a gallon of milk?
I'll be back in 3.5
Come back
days.
4 days later.
I mean,
Yeah.
just so you know, Seth, my dad left a
Doubling
long
in.
time ago, so you could adopt me, and then boom, you're in the circle.
Boom.
There you
This is
go.
how it
You have a
goes.
reason to
I
go.
didn't know you were up for adoption. So I mean,
Saying anything's impossible.
Yeah.
in the arms.
In the arms of an angel. That's great.
Yes. For just 35 cents a day, you can sponsor Jersey.
Here we go.
Dude,
Oh,
for
Damien
35
said-
cents a day,
Damien
you can get your penis twisted.
Damien Schrockakask said he'd come on the podcast if we wanted him to tomorrow, or the next time we do it, next week.
Yeah.
Fishing
You're
hard,
welcome to
man.
come
I think you should just do it.
Yeah, we should just do it. But
Yes, I
All
agree.
right.
all right, everybody, man, we'll see you next year.
Yes. Thanks for coming
Yeah,
up,
sure.
Jersey.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you.
Jersey.
Yeah.
Later, everybody.
Have to
I
whenever
would
this.
quit.